The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Tuesday, August 10th, 2021, years after the year zero, and today's show is fucking loaded, dude. Shout out to you listening on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. You're watching right here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. AJ Hawk will be joining us today per yish. Let's go! In the first hour here, in about 27 minutes, we will have an Olympic gold medalist, a legend, a man who was the face of a sport for a long, long time, Phil Dalhausser, beach volleyball champion, will be joining us. Now, to be clear, I didn't even know Dalhausser was in this last Olympics. Mm-hmm. I was just pitched Phil Dalhausser, and as a volleyball fan, I say, yeah, give us Phil Dalhausser.
Give me Dalhausser.
He was in this last Olympics. They didn't do as great as they had in the past. He ends up retiring after an incredibly long and successful career. Can't wait to talk to old Dalhausser.
Congrats, Phil.
Then in the second hour, we have Clyde Christensen, quarterback coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers currently, formerly of the Colts with both Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning, and was also the wide receiver coach for Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, and everybody like that. He was my quarterback coach as well, and a friend of ours. He just got back from a hell of a Hall of Fame weekend in Canton with Tom Brady to see Peyton Manning. I assume this little fella here, all right, right,
yeah,
with eternal optimism just oozing through his body, was a pretty big part of Tom going to Tampa Bay, especially after Tom's relationship with Peyton had continued to blossom. We talked to Clyde the day after the Super Bowl, or a couple days after they won the Super Bowl, and he said, Tom's already calling me about next year and all this. He's just an incredible guy. He'll get mocked on the internet every once in a while because they'll be like, hey, Tom Brady has a coach. Think about, if you ever think your job isn't really that important, remember that Tom Brady has a quarterback coach. Well, I would assume that Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, and every other GOAT that this dude has coached would come forward and say, Clyde Christensen is a massive part of why I became the player I became. He helped me out, and I played a completely different position. Still owes me $20.
Sure. Come on, Clyde.
Son of a bitch, this guy.
Pay up.
Time to pay the piper.
He loves golf. Obviously, he's an offensive coordinator in the NFL and our former offense coordinator in the NFL. Can't wait to chat with him about what's Bruce Arians talking about. Bruce Arians has come out and just... he's gone after that Buccaneers team. He thinks that, in my eyes, Bruce thinks everybody got a little comfortable over Hall of Fame weekend because he was gone, Clyde was gone, Goody was gone, Tom was gone. He said the first day back after a day off, the offense, every whole team looks like shit.
Ooh.
Can't wait to ask Clyde what that's all about. Maybe Clyde needs to coach him up a little bit better. If they're looking to go undefeated, they're going to have to make that happen. Can't wait to chat with Clyde about not only the Buccaneers this year, but what happened over the weekend. And in the third hour, the most, was it last year or this year? I don't know because they were bundled together. The Pete Rozelle Award winner, Hall of Famer, Joe Buck will join us.
Wow, Joey!
Even a mention of his name will draw a reaction both positively and negatively from millions and millions of people around the globe. He has called basically every single big moment that there was to call in baseball, in football, ever since he was 24 years old, the youngest ever broadcaster to be given an entire slate of NFL games. Now, his dad was in the business. His mom was very well connected. And a lot of people say that's why Joe got his job. Maybe that is the case, and that happens in TV a lot. But what Joe has done since that day, all the way till now, I think he's absolutely crushed it. Fucked up a few times. I think everybody's going to do that on live TV, especially calling massive moments. But I think Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are the booth in the NFL. I'm not 100% sure how many others agree with that or not. But they're my favorite to listen to. I think they're the most relatable. Can't wait to talk to Joe Buck. And also can't wait to see just the internet react to Joe Buck.
Yeah, man. Sure.
You know, sometimes it's kind of nice to just kind of see what's going on out there. Hey, let me jump right into a fire real quick just to feel if I'm alive or not. And that's kind of what happens with Joe Buck every single day. But heavy is the head that wears the crown of the man who has to speak at every single big event. You're going to piss off people regardless. But I think being a Hall of Famer is worth all of that for him and more. We'll talk to that. And there's a lot going on in the NFL right now. To join me in conversation for the first hour, the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and Ty Schmidt. Yesterday, very early in the show, we got a very frustrated Boston Connor, didn't we, Ty?
Big time. I don't know what happened. Some previous statements may have came through the woodwork that he wasn't quite ready to admit to, or I don't know what happened, but yeah, he lost his cool.
Would you like to apologize for losing your mind? What I think 24 hours ago, at about right now, because this is very early in the show. On the left coast over there, it's 9 a.m. They're watching this. This is one of the first things they turn on. People just got done with lunch at work or at school. They came in here for a nice mental vacation. 10 minutes in, some facts were stated by you and me and others in the back, and you got furious.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't fully understand it. Is there anything you would like to follow up upon yesterday's situation or no?
Pat, I will apologize to nobody because this is still bullshit. Now, I'm not going to raise my voice like I did yesterday because I know what you two sons of bitches are trying to do to me right now. And when you say, the guys in the back were saying stuff too, this guy right here, this guy, Zito, the guy who sits basically over my left shoulder, lies more than the goddamn lie detector, okay? So I don't want to hear about it anymore.
Wow.
So what about Foxy, though? He's not a liar. Jason never speaks.
Foxy's a fraud. Foxy's a fraud. I don't have to address Foxy. Okay, Jay, I will never either yell at Jay, look at Jay. I don't know what Jay will do. I don't know if he has that switch, and I don't want to face the wrath of Jay. And Nick's fine, too. He's Italian. I don't want to have that whole entire group of people coming after me. I've been watching documentaries and shows, and I don't want to deal with that. But it's you two that my qualms are aimed at, and at Zito right there.
Well, listen, we apologize for bringing that back up. I didn't know if you had a change of heart here on this beautiful Tuesday, August 10th.
Gave me the opportunity.
We did.
I don't know if you guys had a change of heart. You guys done? You guys done spinning this bullshit yarn? Are we going to talk about Ellinger being the Colts quarterback for the next 17 weeks?
All right.
Or no?
Okay.
Are we going to ignore that?
All right, we will. We will get into the Sam Ellinger conversation. And by the way, we're back.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
Sam Ellinger,
looks good.
Former Texas quarterback. Not sure if he was drafted or sixth-round draft pick of the Indianapolis Colts this year. He has gone through a little bit of adversity in his family since the draft and becoming a Colt. Everybody speaks of him glowingly. Not 100% sure I'm ready to say, hey, that's our quarterback. Wasn't ready to do it for Jacob Eason either. But there's a battle currently happening, I think, for number 2 overall behind Carson Wentz whenever he gets back into the fold post his foot surgery. And I like how you wanted to point out Sam Ellinger being the quarterback and getting his first real first-team reps. And congrats to Sam. It's a dream.
Good work, Sam.
Enjoy it.
Hook them out there with passes and enthusiasm. You know what I mean, Sam? Hook them out there with incredible cadences and, hook them out there, Sam. That's what we're pulling for, honestly. Texas member of the SEC, people forget.
Yeah.
But I think what the bigger story of the Colts camp is, and I didn't plan on leading off with the Colts. You wanted to do this, which maybe New England Patriots fans should question even more so.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah. You led off with me being a Bucs fan, which is a bold thing.
Whoa. I never said that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I
never said that. Yeah,
Never said that.
Heard that before. Another Italian phrase. Now you know I'm not going after Nick.
Anyways, the Italians are in the middle of it right now. Good
point.
The Italian culture is getting attacked right now, and I'm not sure how you guys feel or not. Is everything
it's anti-Italian discrimination?
I don't know, because I think it's the Italian coming out and saying,
No. That headline doesn't need to be plastered everywhere. We could do without that.
Hey, I did see that on the internet. I don't dive into the politics much, but I did see that. One prominent Italian in politics and in the world, basically. He probably, I don't know if he's president of the Italian club where he's from or not. Okay, I don't know.
Hell no.
I'd assume, I don't know. He's acting like he is. The headline read, the photo, and I did not watch it, obviously. I don't dive into the politics. But the headline that I saw on the photo clearly stated, I'm not perverted. I'm just Italian. I'm Italian.
What do you want me to do?
Hey, I'm touchy.
What do you want me?
Why don't you come
I
around?
thought this was a sports show.
All right. Let's get back to it.
Wait, Pat. I didn't grow up with Italians, so I don't know how Italians are.
Whoa.
From what I just heard on this, are they all kind of like scumbags?
No. I have never experienced. Listen, the Italians.
You got a lot of balls.
Yeah, the Italians.
Well, I just have to ask.
Speaking of, never mind. The Italians that I grew up around were not a a tribe of gropey Italians, I do not think. And I'm not 100% sure. I mean, this was the headline from an Italian. I'm only 0.01% Italian. I believe the person that said this particular line is a lot more Italian than I am. So I don't want to broad brush this, but I would say the Italians that I grew up around, this is not, that was a fugace.
Okay, good.
Bodies in the mash, Italians in Pittsburgh is what you're saying.
No, those are bodies in the river.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know if we're doing that. I think you're talking about the Irish up there.
Oh, yeah, plenty of them.
Yeah, big Marsh team, the Irish. Anyways, Sam Ehlinger has a chance now to really,
He does.
Truly, he's finally got an opportunity.
Great pivot.
Wentz is class, so he's going to play during the season.
All right, so that's the positive of the whole thing. Sam Ehlinger and Eason are currently battling, I think, for number 2 overall, and I'm going to say starting week 2. I think Carson Wentz is back. I'm not sure about week 1 because how many days out are we from NFL football?
30.
1 month away, 4 weeks roughly, and some change there. I just don't know if he will be able to come back, if it's a smart move, especially with a 17-game season, to bring him back like that. But I think week 2, week 3, especially with that projection of 5 to 12 weeks that we were told, and then Frank Reich came on this show and said he thinks it's going to be on the earlier, much closer to the 5 than to the 12, basically is what he said. Now at training camp, Quenton Nelson and Carson Wentz are both roaming around Indianapolis Colts field just 1 week removed from this surgery, which I was told you couldn't put weight on for 2 weeks because blood circulation getting in there or any other things happening. Here we are 1 week removed. Carson and Quenton Nelson, no boot, walking around. These must have been very, very, very successful anomalies, surgery, and a high school injury that just re-popped up surgery for them to be back out there. So although Sam Ehlinger probably is looking unbelievable and hook the hell out of
Hook him, baby.
We're back.
It's also Too Sweet and Wolfpack.
Yep.
Woo!
Oh.
Ow! Hey, will your wolf kiss my wolf, Corey Graves? That's what I said to him. He said, no. Get your wolf out of here. We never really got it done. But Sam Ehlinger, I think, is competing for second string right now. Carson Wentz is going to be back, as is Quenton Nelson. I don't know who the fuck this foot surgeon is, but let's put them in the goddamn ring of honor here in Indianapolis, especially if this team goes on a run and Carson Wentz can remain healthy out here.
You would assume that if there's no boot, like he's probably not going to be practicing and stuff like that, but he can at least get work in, right? So he probably will. You would assume that he probably won't play week 1. I don't know who they play, but
walk through.
Stuff like that, right.
Meetings, can do. Upper body workouts, can do. If he's walking around the practice field, that is a huge step because normally, especially in this particular surgery, from what we were told on the internet, and the internet did tell me something much differently about the Italians this morning than I knew. The internet did tell me.
Whoa. There's breaking news on that front as well.
What happened?
He's out.
Oh, so he's not just Italian. He is potentially also the. We don't need to break that news, but
he resigned.
Oh,
he's out.
Wow. Okay.
Did not see that coming.
So the headline that read, "I'm not perverted. I'm just Italian," should also say, "I'm not perverted. I'm just Italian, and I'm out of here." That's what the headline is updated to.
Maybe we chop off the first part of that and stick with the relevant news that he's out.
You want to chop off the perverted part, the Italian part, or you're keeping in?
You can leave the perverted part. Maybe we take the Italian part.
Oh, you want to stop linking the Italians to this guy as a whole?
Ideally, yes. That would be the dream scenario.
He's tying himself to you guys.
Yeah, big time.
Very, very tight. And I thought that's what the whole thing was family. You know what I mean?
That's right.
This is family.
Well, he's taking some liberties with the culture there, okay?
Whoa.
Hey, Franklin Nicholas Moraldo. I want to know, like.
My name's not Franklin.
I want to know.
Please have some respect for Big Frank.
Listen, you're right. Big Frank did not deserve that. Big Frank, his concrete's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, top tier.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, as Italian to Italian here, you and me. What are we doing about this whole headline that's really disparaging?
I think we just washed our hands of it. He's out.
Oh, he resigns. No, he's going to be showing up at all these Italian clubs.
Yeah, now he's going to lean on the family more than ever.
Wait till he's fucking throwing bocce balls in all 50 states. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be happening very soon. You think Coach Diggs is going to let him into his Italian
club?
Ain't
no way Coach is letting this guy anywhere near the club.
Hey, I heard what you said.
His last words, I love New York and I love you.
Did he? Is that what he said?
That was his last words, yeah.
Wow. Was he talking about like a reporter down front?
Oh, jeez.
Resigns from.
I'm Italian.
Come on, I'm Italian. Give me a kiss. Come here, give me a kiss.
Stunad, this guy.
Anyways, Carson Wentz seems to be back.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot earlier than we thought. Yeah. And although the Italian in charge is gone now for despicable things is what is being alleged. I don't know enough. All I saw was the headline.
Right.
And that was enough for me to really understand which way that whole thing was going. Although he's out, I think Carson Wentz is going to be back. And I'm not sure how many other sports shows can really thread the needle like that and kind of sew these things together. But you're talking top Italian government news being tied into Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts with a foot surgeon. That's why this show will forever be the fucking worst thing to ever happen on earth. But for real, Carson's back, it feels like. Don't you think? Why you wanted to mention Sam Ehlinger, I think, because before you saw that Carson Wentz was do-si-doing around practice already, a week out from his foot surgery, and he was supposed to be down in bed for 2 weeks, which I thought was the standard. Frank told us, doctors told us that you still wanted to get in your whole, really good team, got Sam Ehlinger as your quarterback, who's a rookie, and although he might be great, it might take him at least 5-6 years to figure that out. Because Peyton Manning, he threw the most interceptions in the NFL his rookie year. It still took a couple years to really get good. So this team that's ready to win right now, you're saying about to rely on a rookie quarterback that didn't win much in college. Right. That's what you were trying to say, but Carson Wentz is back, pal.
Anytime I can throw some fire on, the Colts, I will. But I think just similar to the Patriots, like Ehlinger has a pretty, not simple, but he's got a great O-line. He's got a good running game. He's got T.Y. Hilton. He's got a good defense. Like, if Ehlinger wins week 1 and Wentz isn't ready, and Eric Fisher, let's say, isn't ready till week 3, wouldn't you just rather, be kind of patient with Wentz so you know that if he does wait till week 3 that he'll last the entire season? He's not rushing back at all?
Yeah, I don't know anything about how the medicals will check out.
Yeah.
But if he can play, I think you get him in. Because this is his first year with the team as well.
True,
Now, listen, if Sam Ehlinger goes out there and has a Tom Brady-like debut when Drew Brees got knocked into wine country, right? Okay.
Almost died.
Yeah. Literally happy to hear he's okay, legit happy he's okay. But Tom came in and kind of I think did well, right? It was like almost immediately everybody was like, oh, we got a guy. And that can happen. And I think that is the interesting thing about evaluating quarterbacks. You have no idea who's going to stink and who's going to be good. You have no clue. There's been so many busts that have been drafted so early. And then there's been stars that have been drafted, 199 is what Tom Brady is. Like, who knows if Sam Ehlinger is going to be great, okay? Who knows? Don't put me in the camp of, I'm pitching for Sam Ehlinger here. I'm just in the state of mind with everything you said about the team for Sam Ehlinger. That is why I'm excited to see Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz hasn't had a team like that ever, probably. The best offensive line in the league in conversations. They're in conversations. There's going to be a lot of people that take offense to that because their offensive line is so good. And let's just go top 5. There's probably a top 5 that everybody, depending upon the style of play and everything like that, there's an offensive lines that have been configured that are fucking great. And the Colts have one of those.
Yes.
Now, if Eric Fisher's back week 3, that's obviously great. Week 4, that's great with 17-game season or whatever. But Carson, it feels like he's going to be back a lot earlier than we think. So, the panic that I was potentially feeling and displaying, I think it's all been put away. Quenton Nelson's ready to block whoever. 6 days out. Fuck that, he said. I don't need any pity. I'm back in 6 days with this thing. That's good news for the Colts.
Well, and I think with Carson, obviously he's much more comfortable being here than he was in Philly at the end. But with how everything was going, if he is ready to go, you wouldn't want to play Ehlinger and then have Ehlinger go out there and
ball.
Throw for 4 touchdowns, and it's like, oh shit, now there's not really a quarterback controversy because they paid Carson all this money, but it's you even give that shred of an option that who knows what happens. I think once he's ready to go, it needs to be his team.
So Frank's going to have to do whatever to win the game, and if it's Sam Ehlinger throwing for 4 touchdowns, he's going to have to do that. But that is going to be a scene, or at least a talking point.
Right.
That's going to become a talking point. But Carson's got to be back. But if he, people say, he gets hurt, and we've gotten a chance to experience this. He didn't get hurt this time, by the way. He got hurt in high school.
That's right.
So this wasn't a now injury. This was a then injury.
Re-aggravated.
His body was actually like, hey, we need to heal. He's in a healing time right now.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is a healer now, not a guy who gets injured. He's just, making up for past situations in high school when he was once a guy who got injured a lot because of the way he plays and how big he is. But what if he does get injured again? That's immediately, a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles fans were tweeting, Of course, Carson going to fuck us over one more time or whatever. We paid him. Everything happens. Well, now we don't even get a first-round pick out of it. We only get a second-round pick because he got hurt or whatever. And then there was optimism that he was going to come back. And then a bunch of Eagles fans who are very negative, I think. And not just Eagles fans are negative, but I think these people in general are very, very negative people. And Philly does have that potential connotation. They said, you think this is the last time he's going to get hurt. And that is kind of what scares me because Carson – he's so big. He's a lumbering guy. Seems to be happy, seems to be athletic, seems to be fitting in with the team. The team seems to be loving him. Everything's built for him to be successful. But some people get unlucky with and unfortunate with injuries. And if that happens, these 1 reps for Sam Ehlinger that he's getting in training camp are going to be a big fucking deal, I think.
Yeah, you'd hope his style of play maybe changes a little bit too now that he does have this good of an offensive line and he's got pieces on the outside, because I think in Philly he felt like he had to do everything himself. He was holding on to the ball way too long. He'd scramble and he was just getting punished. But I think he realizes here now, like, oh yeah, like you said, like this team is ready to win now. I don't have to be Batman. I can be Bruce Wayne, to quote Jameis.
Okay, so you think potentially Carson, while he was down for that injury for a couple of days, heard Jameis say that quote from Drew Brees.
Like,
Carson,
oh shit, that's genius.
Take the hockey pads off.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas, speaking of Jameis, Michael Thomas liked a tweet basically explaining his entire situation and asking, like, how is this Michael Thomas's fault? How is Michael Thomas the bad guy in this entire situation? The tweet comes from Jordan Schultz, who I'm not 100% sure who it is. Schultz Report, I believe. I went to his Twitter. A lot of good stuff from this guy. So I should know more about him. At Schultz_report. Michael Thomas got hurt during week 1 in garbage time, which has been something that a lot of Saints fans who have backed Michael Thomas have tweeted me and told me that nobody's talking about enough. When he got hurt, they could have just kneeled on the ball and nailed that thing out, but instead he got caught up in some bullshit. It was in garbage time.
Damn.
Yeah, like a decision was made for the offense. They could have just kneeled out the game. It could have been over or whatever. A play happened and Michael Thomas got hurt. I did not do the research to go back and see that, but I've gotten this tweet saying this similar thing 20 to 30 times, I'd say. So normally when something happens at a pretty regular basis, I go in and check it. I don't have the will or the time to go back into this entire thing. I should. I haven't. But Schultz is reporting Michael Thomas got hurt during week 1 garbage time when the Saints should have been protecting their investment. The medical staff then cleared him several times during the regular season from that same injury and agreed to hold off on surgery. So Thomas waited to have surgery, and yet he's at fault. So last season, he got injured in garbage time. I believe it was the end of the game. They could have just kneeled it out. They chose not to for whatever reason. Something happens, he gets hurt then. Then you remember all season, this was a conversation piece for the Saints. Whether it was him not being able to play because of the ankle injury, him coming back and playing, him not being dressed because he came back, practice, got into a fight, then him standing on the sideline, then him and Sean Peyton obviously being at odds, all the way through. Jay Glazer telling us yesterday that he does not see it ending good. He said this is not going to end good at all. So Michael Thomas, in his eyes, felt like, oh, it was bullshit that I got hurt. It was a bullshit decision for the reason I got hurt. You guys trained me and told me to come back last season so that we can go on a run. And then immediately after the season's over, whenever for the last 17, 18 weeks, their conversation might have been like, hey, now you need surgery or whatever. And Michael Thomas might have thought, no, I could do this myself. There's probably a little bit of anger between each other and angst between each other for how the whole entire season went. Probably a loss of trust out of Michael Thomas with some people in there, especially when it comes to the medical side. You can see why Sean Payton's frustrated because there was no conversation for the last 3 months. Then he learns that Michael Thomas, one of the best players on the planet, even though he might have a little bit of a personal beef happening right now for some decisions that were made, he's still a great player you want to have on your team. He's out now for however long it is. That's not good. And then he likes these tweets. Michael Thomas, without doing an interview, basically says like, hey, let's remember here that I have a side in this entire story as well. And then that's what he posted on his social media. You didn't tell your side to make them a hero or something like that along those lines. It's getting ugly publicly. There's only 30 more days until the season. He won't be ready for that. Nope. He's got weeks and weeks still recovery for the surgery he's about to have. If Michael Thomas goes on the market, I think there's going to be a lot of people that want Michael Thomas on their team. And with that Saints squad, I'm not sure they can afford to lose another weapon or playmaker, but it seems like they might have no other option.
Can they trade him even though he's not playing until like week 7, week 8, like you said, or do they have to kind of wait it out and rehab him, get him back to fully healthy? But with everything that happened last year, it just seems like there's no way that he's actually going to be able to be on the Saints this year and like agree with Sean Payton on anything.
I don't know, because you see Xavier Howard.
Sure.
You see like situations, and now this is not business, this is personal.
Yeah.
This is a personal thing.
Thomas.
With Michael Thomas and Sean, this is a personal thing, strictly because you told me to do something, I did it, I want to do something. For whatever reason, there is some real personal shit going on. Now, business is always included in the NFL, but whenever you talk business reasons why something doesn't work out, and then personal reasons, I think you're talking two different stories. I think that is two different situations. For instance, Russell Wilson, right? That was allegedly a personal thing.
Yeah.
They got over it. Right? Xavier Howard, that was a business thing. They got over it.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with Aaron. We have no idea. But somehow, sometimes, there's a sit-down, a conversation that has to happen. And I think Jay Glazer actually said, I don't know if it was about, it was Aaron and Gutekunst have to go do something. Something similar for Sean and Michael Thomas, probably.
Applebee's.
You got to go to Applebee's, get the sampler platter.
Yeah.
You know, maybe hit a peace pipe or two of CBD, obviously, or vitamins. Maybe grab some mushrooms. And I'm not talking about the ones you put on pizza. I'm talking about the boomers, you know, the one to get you going there and see things a little bit more clearly. But I think that can happen still. Who knows if it will, because Sean Payton's got a lot to focus on and Michael Thomas is going to have a lot to focus on. But if they can get back on the same page, it's good for the Saints. If not, there's going to be a lot of teams that want him.
I would assume it's magnified too, right? Because he feels like, hey, you guys jerked my chain this whole time and essentially just wasted an entire year of my career in my prime. Like, I could have, I maybe could have gotten surgery really early and then come back and been 100% for the stretch run into the playoffs. But instead, is there any way you actually can come back from that, you think? Like, or is he just like, all right, fuck it, I'm done with you guys, everyone?
Yeah, because he made a couple plays last year, right? But he was
hurt like
the
whole year pretty much.
And he was limping, and then he got into the fight, and they're like, well, he's got to learn, he's got to learn to be a part of the team or something like that. And the entire season, Michael Thomas had to be like, you motherfuckers are forcing me to play right now, and now I'm the bad guy. That's how Michael Thomas is feeling. I'm not saying there's probably somewhere in the middle here that is the actual true who should feel here. But Michael Thomas is, I think, trying to say, like, I have a valid reason to be very furious about everything that happened here. Sean Payton does as well. This is one of those situations you just got to hope that they can get through if you're a Saints fan, and if you're somewhere else that needs a weapon like the Colts, you got to think like, hey, they screwed you over down there, Michael. Don't listen to that shit. There's some breaking news coming out of the Saints. Cornerback Patrick Robinson, once of the Colts, by the way, informed the team that he is retiring, says Ian Rappaport's Twitter account. After 11 seasons and a Super Bowl title, the former first-rounder calls it quits. Congratulations on a hell of a run. I think he won a Super Bowl with Philadelphia, if I do recall. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was with Philadelphia. He was in our locker room, got along with everybody. 11 years, hell of a run. Incredible thing to be able to do at corner, especially with how athletic you have to be, the mindset you have to have on a regular basis of just being better than everybody else and forgetting any potential negatives that happen in a play or in the game. Congrats to Patrick Robinson. But yet again, here for the New Orleans Saints, here's another situation that they're currently dealing with, and they don't have a quarterback. So, I mean, it is a much different time down in New Orleans. Yeah. Much different. Just last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it's like, hey, we're doing a parade down here, Mardi Gras. We're going to win a Super Bowl. This is Drew Orleans. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Now it's like they had to cut a bunch of people because of salary cap reasons. They got disputes going on with one of their star players. Sean Payton doesn't have a quarterback yet. He doesn't know who it's going to be. I mean, it is. They'll figure it out because that defense is still very good and Sean Payton's still a good coach. But there's a lot of reasons to think to yourself, you're a Saints fan, fuck, are we dead?
Yeah, if you have the Saints, the first 4 weeks of the season, your team is lucked out. And luckily for Ty and myself, we both get the Saints within the first 3 weeks.
Tampa is good?
Tampa's fourth.
Okay.
For the Patriots. You cannot be doing this to me because all these people are going to start believing you like, oh, you know what? He is a fraud. And I will go back and get the receipts this weekend. You know what? I got my plans this weekend. Sorry, guys, I can't do anything this weekend because I'm going back and I'm watching 800 of these shows to find the clips of when I said this goddamn shit because you two are driving me insane. You're driving me off that cliff.
No, I want to let you
know.
You're doing it. Whenever we say something like that, I didn't know who you were pulling for. Were you talking about Tom or were you talking about the Patriots?
Where's Phil?
Let's get to a break. Let's get to a break because
all right.
I will tell you, Phil Dahlhauser has not answered.
Oh,
no! We got 4 minutes. Shit. We'll be back on the other side, maybe with an Olympic gold medalist. Myself, Ty Schmidt.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I know. Go ahead, do it.
New England Patriot fan, Boston Connor, will ask Phil Dahlhauser most definitely the dumbest questions he's ever been asked, but we might learn some things about the mentality of a gold medalist, an Olympian, the drive, the sport, everything. Could be fascinating, could be a dud. If not, hopefully you'll join us in 4 minutes. Cheers.
Late in the game, had a, they wouldn't show it because I play for the Packers, but I had a pretty sweet no-looker to Banter on the last drive that I'd kind of set up for a few plays because Darius is so athletic side to side. He loves reading your eyes, and I just kind of came back and looked left and then looked outside him on the right and threw it behind him to
go get him. I'm so thankful Patrick Mahomes brought that into the NFL.
I know.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Good for him.
Yeah, I know. Since none of us have been doing it for a while. I will say this. A guy who probably doesn't get anywhere near the credit.
Brett.
We're doing shit like that all the time. He wears number 9 and plays in Detroit. Okay, that dude, what he does with the ball, it's impressive. It's really, really impressive. And I know Dan Orlovsky will highlight some stuff from time to time, sure, because they play together and they're good friends, which he should. But that dude is throwing crazy no-lookers all the time. And he can throw from any arm angle. I don't think he gets. Maybe it's Detroit. Maybe it's based on they haven't.
They just got lost 20-0 to the Panthers. They just lost 20-0 to the Panthers. I mean, that's.
I know. But he didn't. They had some guys out, Pat. Let's take it.
He walks all the way up. Oh! Sleep!
Holy
Sleep!
shit.
This is not the one that I saw.
Oh, good.
Oh, my God. Can we go back to the beginning, please? Listen, go back to the beginning. This guy, pause. That guy was sitting one section over in this blue polo shirt-wearing son of a bitch who's here with his friend, by the way. Right here. They're just having a good old day at the ballpark. Old buddy in the glasses back here. Oh, this has been fun. Look at this guy up here with the wife is maybe, the wife and the guy up there. They're kind of intrigued to see what's going on. Padres guy said, hey, listen, I've been locked in my fucking house for 13 months. I'm going to come to a ball game, and you're going to say dumb shit? I don't think so, pal. He walks over, 45 yards, casually, eyes ready to go, not fists ready to go, though. Just outside, no, calm. What you got a fucking problem, pal? People smiling down here. They know something's about to happen. We got a camera out. We would like to see the alternate angle from this particular person. But what a moment here. We beat COVID. We are back. Old buddy here needs to watch out for right hooks. Bow! Buckled. What, bitch? He said. What? And then he gets tackled by everybody else, backpedals. Everybody watches this happen. What a
Jeez.
What? He says. What, dude? What?
Damn.
Oh, my. What was said by who? Hey, as we get back into society, let's remember, people will punch you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back to that show. It's a new joint from DJ Griff Music.
Okay.
A little salsa vibe, huh?
Yeah. What's it called?
This one's, I don't even think I can.
Wentz's Feet?
It's called Cafe de Lefty.
Oh.
I think it's for Phil Mickelson.
Oh.
Phil, this is what Phil listens to?
Lefty's Coffee?
I'd assume.
Oh. Cafe de Lefty.
Right here,
Yeah.
making the coffee.
Shaking the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
No crash, by the way, on this thing. Welcome back to the show. Can't thank you enough for joining us. It is Tuesday, August 10th, 2021 years after zero. I'm in the middle of a beef with Bleacher Report Gridiron.
Really?
Right.
Yep.
That's right.
Might as well make it official.
What did they do?
Go ahead and announce it. Well, they've done things in the past because we have relied upon them, in the past, because they were gathering a lot of information and rumors and news. It was very nice, especially because Bleacher Report has a massive network. So, whenever they get into the football thing, it's like, cool, okay, they have connections, they have people working in there. They were a great asset to our daily life, and we always gave a lot of credit, I think, to Bleacher Report Gridiron. We're always very thankful for everything they've done. Now, they got some things wrong. They let us into a couple fires. They misquoted me on a couple posts to put me into a war with Juju, for instance. So they've set me up for battle in the past with bullshit before, but I still continue to follow along and appreciate because the amount of good far outweighed the bad out of Bleacher Report Gridiron. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Then yesterday, everybody on Instagram, I think everybody was told, hey, you got to do these polls things because then you'll get your account boosted by the algorithm that is run by Zuckerberg that none of us fully fucking understand.
Not at all.
So they had a bunch of them. Boom, 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 boom. And they had one that was of when Antonio Brown kicked Spencer Lanning in the face during a return. Yeah. Spencer Lanning was trying to square him up. Antonio Brown jumped up, right to his face, and then stepped on him, continued to run over top of him, and scored a touchdown.
Yes.
So they said, would you rather have that happen to you, or would you just get out of the way? And they were talking about when Antonio Brown shook the shit out of me in front of 50 of my family members in Pittsburgh. Okay?
Come on.
So posting me getting shook by Antonio Brown, completely okay with that. That's going to happen whenever you're in a position that I am in, especially with somebody like Antonio Brown, who Bruce Arians says, by the way, is looking as fast as he was 4 to 5 years ago. Yeah. Antonio Brown has a lot of people in his day, and I'm one of them. I am on the long list of people.
Badge of honor.
53 in a third wide field. Okay, Antonio Brown in the fourth quarter in a game, they're up 17 or 20. Why is he returning kicks? Oh, strictly because Danny Smith wants to say fuck you to me in the middle of a game. He's their special teams coordinator for the Steelers, basically. So he shakes me. It was not a great punt. It was a terrible attempt at a tackle, got shook, whatever the case is, in front of my family in the same stadium. That Troy Polamalu fucking ruined my night earlier.
God damn it.
Okay? Bad night for me. Not a big deal you post that. But saying get out of the way, now you're taking a shot at me as a human. Okay? Now you're taking get out of the way. I ain't never get out of the way of anything. Almost to my detriment, by the way. I almost broke my entire fucking sternum on a guy whenever I was told not to do it. Get out of the way. I have more solo tackles than Emmanuel Acho has in the NFL. I take a lot of pride and yeah.
Really?
Yes. I had to look it up actually because I actually went to look up how many tackles I had. Because when I saw this, I had to remind myself, I ain't never get out of the fucking way for anybody.
Wait a minute.
What are we even talking about? So now I have 24 tackles, 21 solos, just did some other research of people on TV, started looking into it, and I was interested, not just Acho. And by the way, I love Acho. This is me just telling people, hey, I never got out of the way of fucking anything. And I think that is why a lot of my teammates had respect for me. I never really understood why punters and kickers would try not to make a tackle if they had to, because not only are you screwing over your team because of loss of field position, but also you're fucking over your numbers too. Everything that you were trying to accomplish is getting ruined there too. I happen to be 6'1", 235, and I can move a little bit. So I was much larger than a lot of the returners that I was hitting, except for Josh Cribbs, who I took Dahn to the ground in open field, ran my face right into him actually because I'm from Pittsburgh and I'm an idiot. So I took massive disrespect from that post from them, and I'll hate them forever. I have to.
And you should.
Should, yeah. It's bullshit.
Look get out of the way. Yo, I clearly just got shook, okay? So if you're going to mock me for getting shook, cool. Get shook. That could be an answer. But getting out of the way, now you're questioning, everything that I really stand
Oh, this
for.
guy didn't want the smoke.
Yeah, exactly. I did, by the way. Always will, always have. Hey, I want this. I'm flying in there. Probably going to get got. More often than not, going to make the play. I mean, that's just something that happened. Was a big part. So me and Bleacher Report had quite a little run-in yesterday. We are officially knuckle deep in beef right now.
Completely out on BR Gridiron, and it's almost making like AB seem like a slouch. Like, is there anyone aside maybe from Tyreek Hill who's like better at punt returns than that fucking guy, Devin Hester? Sure, but like, come on, give me a break.
That game, all right, not just pile on this situation. And people know I am very petty. Okay, I am a very petty person. That is, let's just go on for it. If you're on my team, I will ride till the wheels fall off for you. If I think you don't like me, though, or going the other way, cool. I don't like you either. By the way, till the wheels fall off. Like, that is how I go. That was a setup to make me look bad and question everything in there. But Antonio Brown, when I jog out to do that punt, we're down. I think we were down 17 at the time in the fourth quarter of a game that we were nowhere near coming back into. Right. I thought we were at a point where, hey, there is no more punting in this game. Mm-hmm. So I had my shoes untied on the sideline. I'm going out there only to hold. And if we have to hit a kickoff, it didn't look like we were moving. It was like 2nd down and long. And then it got into 3rd down and long. And I'm like, all right, we're done. I was actually undoing everything. Like, hey, this is over now. They're going to go for it. And if they don't get it, this thing's over. And then all of a sudden we get a 4th and like 20 something. And Chuck's like, we got to punt. And I'm like, God damn, we got to punt. So I'm jogging out there. And it's, I just assume now we're looking at a preseason roster is what I'm thinking. Like, hey, they're not going to send anybody out there. They don't want to get hurt. And the announcer, into return, Antonio Brown or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I just had my shoes almost untied. Yeah. Okay, this game's over. Had my life ruined earlier. And I look over at Danny, he's chewing his gum just like fucking excited about it. I'm like, our team is about tapped out, by the way. The coverage teams are, I don't think everybody's going to give it 100% at this particular point. This game is over. And I hit a bad ball to boot. That's just so it brought up a bad memory. But then questioning my character, I think. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Did you think in that moment when you were going out there like, fuck it, I might just yell fire and huck one as far as I can?
No, yeah.
Try to pick up first down.
I mean, could you imagine if I go, hey, run
a post.
Or if I just pick it up and start running it? Yeah, then, I mean, with the way that night was going, I start running, I'm probably getting decapitated. I'm probably
shoes untied.
Absolutely. But by the way, I would run into it.
That's right.
Kind of took a shot at all of Pittsburgh, I think, Bleacher Report Gridiron almost, saying get out of the way. Like, there is no way a human from Pittsburgh is going to get out of the way in Pittsburgh in the middle of Heinz Field while having to do something that involves some physical contact because your entire family and friends are literally watching like,
Can't handle it.
That's not our guy.
Not to mention your dad taped you to a goddamn fence and theyrew soccer balls at you. Like, are you shitting me? Come on.
Yeah. True. I didn't like that. So I would like to know. I never said. I've never in my life said that I would want to get into like an actual boxing match or a fight. Like one of those big fights.
Yeah, sure.
Whoever runs that Bleacher Report Gridiron account, though, I'd like to fight him.
Celebrity boxing.
Here we go.
MMA or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, MMA. I think I would like to.
Let's set it up.
Now,
Gauntlet's been thrown.
That's a little bit much. That was how I felt at the time, by the way. Sure. Who is this? I'd like to slap whoever this is. Whoever think like trying to make fun of kickers to begin with. Okay, and punters. All right, so
well, and I'm sure you took a lot of ricochet shots on there just by it being posted, obviously.
Oh, good.
And you can't avoid that. You can't either. Like you're seeing that no matter what.
And by the way, listen. All good if you're putting me getting fucking shook by Antonio Brown, which is exactly what happened. It wasn't a great day for me. All right, it was bad. Went back to the film, tried to work on some stuff to be better the next time. It's the get out of the way thing. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
You can fuck right off. All right, we're done with it. We'll be on the road to recovery, by the way. We'll probably make it right.
You got it off your chest. You needed to.
Yeah, here we are now. Yeah. I don't want to actually fight anybody now, though. Unless I see the person that ran that account and they were like, I didn't want to take down somebody, forced me to. It's like, all right, come here, you little fuck. Like that's. And I'm a punter, by the way. Don't like talking about that. Bottom of the barrel when it comes to tough people in the NFL or whatever. but have a little respect, okay? I got at least 3 concussions because I had the worst tackling form of all time. I just threw my face literally into people. I mean, let's have a little bit of respect for something around here.
I mean, if you see the guy, you give him a little smack in the mouth. He's side-eyeing you a little bit, you know?
Hey, I know you.
Hey, what's going on? Nice to meet you guys. Oh, okay, nice to meet you. What do you do? Oh, I run the social. Oh, shut the fuck up.
Gotcha.
I'm joking. They do a lot of good. I have to say that. They do a lot of good, but boy.
Lefko, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Let's go to Lee Battle, Dahn, Mississippi. What's going on? Lee Battle on the 5-hour energy phone line. What's going on, pal?
Cuzzy, boys. Happy Tuesday, damn it.
Hey, happy Tuesday to you, Lee Battle. How are you, pal?
Hey, I'm doing all right, Cuzzy. How are you guys?
I'm a little upset at Bleacher Report Gridiron. I forgot about it at the beginning of the show, got reminded of it. Now I think I'm through it on the other side. And a call from you, I think, is the perfect thing for right now on this Tuesday, August 10th.
Well, if you need me to come up there and bust some heads, just fucking let me know.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. And I don't know about busting heads. I think just a little smack in the mouth. That's what I think. I think it's just smacking the mouth.
Yeah, just bust somebody in the mouth.
Yeah, right in the mouth.
Hey, are we going to have to start calling Connor like Tampa Campbell or the
See, that's what you were alluding to. You walked Lee Battle into that. You know you did.
See, I did. And I knew exactly what I was doing, which is what I was referring to last week when there was a potential another situation that popped off is I knew exactly what I was doing whenever I did that to you. And I want to let you know I apologize for that.
Okay.
Now, Ty and I have talked off air a little bit, and we have decided, okay, because we do not want you to have to deal with this because it's going bad.
Okay.
We don't want there to be any uncertainty at all. We chatted. We are going to pay somebody to go back and find all the clips of you saying Tom Brady's going to win.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. I'm glad that you guys are now what BR Gridiron to you is to me. That's what you two are doing to me. You're spinning a narrative.
I apologize.
Hey, get out of the way narrative. That's what you're spinning.
I'm so sorry.
That's what you're doing to me right now.
I did not mean to. I apologize. I did not mean to do that.
Come on!
Sorry.
Hey, everybody's got to stop that, okay?
Sorry, Connor.
I don't know. Tampa Campbell sounds pretty sweet.
Whoa! I am sorry that I'm part of this because once you did piece it together that this was a very Bleacher Report Gridiron move to do to you, I did realize quickly, and I apologize.
It's too late. It's too late.
No.
The fire's been burned. Hey, once you pour gasoline all over firewood and you drop a match in, it still lights up, Pat. It doesn't matter if it's a small match, okay? You lit the match.
All right. I didn't mean to, though. Listen, I'm trying to dump water on it right now. Look at me. Look at how good of a guy I am.
Got the fire extinguisher out.
Yeah, except you picked up the water can and there's more gasoline inside.
No, we didn't rig it that way, though. We were hoping it wouldn't be that way. Let's go to Javier in California there on the 5-hour energy phone line. What's going on, Javier?
Hey, Pat, big fan of the show. Hey, boys.
Fucking don't
I'd like
accept
to speak briefly, but I can't.
Especially from you.
My question today is, what do you guys think about Connor Williams versus Aaron Donald?
Oh, this is the Pro Football Focus thing, I think, right? Pro Football Focus said offensive lineman 1, Aaron Donald 0, right? When Aaron Donald picked the guy up and drove him 5 yards back into the backfield.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, this is great question, Javier. Thanks for calling in, by the way. Great question because this leads to what was happening down in Jacksonville, too, when Urban Meyer was announcing the winners of drills, one-on-one drills. Now, I don't know what one-on-one drill it was, but I do know from watching firsthand, front row seat, a lot of drills happen. And then also being in the meetings at night following those drills, there is a lot of debate on who wins each rep whenever it comes to these drills. For instance, the one-on-one drill there, normally the offensive lineman is set up for failure because they are a team operating as a unit. So normally to the right or to the left, you'll at least have a body that can maybe slow somebody down. So in one-on-ones, I think it is hindered towards the D-line having success. Now, if somebody gets in front of somebody, you consider that a success. But if Aaron Donald picks a guy up and drives him 5 yards directly into the backfield, you got to assume that's a lost rep in that particular drill. But in the game, quarterback probably gets around that and gets the pass off. So Aaron Donald won the rep, but the offensive line will still spin the narrative that, well, he wasn't free. He didn't hit a free hit, and he's still able to do that. So that's why anytime you watch these drills, unless it's a one-on-one drill, wide receiver and corner, and you hear from the corner right before the rep that they are not trying anything new. This is a full go rep here. Same thing with the wide receiver, because the wide receiver might be trying a new break, a new something with their hands, a later look at the ball or something. That's why in practice, when guys are working on stuff, I think it's interesting to kind of like jump all over people, especially it goes back Richard Sherman. He was playing corner for the Niners. It was after he negotiated his own deal, I think, with the Niners, so the media was kind of against him to begin with. And T's and P's to Sherman right now while he goes through everything he's going through right now. We hope you get back on the other side of this thing, brother. Nothing but love. But he, in a film from practice, got smoked.
Yeah.
And the internet and the media were excited to bury him because he negotiated his own contract, new team. He's Richard Sherman. He just got worked or whatever. And everybody kind of came out and started burying him. He's lost it. He's gone on, I think, to make a Pro Bowl since then. He was working on something new in practice, and that's why it's very hard to judge these practice reps, especially with who won and who didn't, because it's like, who knows who's trying to accomplish what in those moments as well.
Well, and I get that you're doing like one-on-ones and stuff like that, but you said with like the O-line too, like how realistic, like how many times is an offense going to be blocking Aaron Donald one-on-one? Like he's facing mostly double teams anyway, right? So it's like, I mean, I get that you have to do it because that's what they're there to do, but yeah, I mean, like anytime you see this stuff on Twitter, it's kind of just like, oh, okay, like football's back, but
it's tough to know who won,
right?
Because you have no idea what either side is trying to accomplish in that moment. Now, maybe the drill, we can all say, well, the drill is for him to block him, and that's like a very simple thing. But what if that offensive lineman was working on a new set or a new foot something, and you just so happen to get like there is just so much. It's practice, so it's very difficult to kind of, and even in the game, by the way, it's tough to give Aaron Donald dubs because he's facing 3 people, 2 people. It's like Jadeveon Clowney. Everybody's like, his stats stink or whatever, but he was just disrupting plays and taking people out. Is that a win? Is that a plus? Is Pro Football Focus and all these people that rank every play, are they giving him a win if he disrupts a play completely and somebody else makes the play? Like there is just... That's why football is awesome, by the way. It's because there's just so much, there's layers to so much shit that could potentially happen.
Well, and that's why that winners and losers drill with Urban Meyer was so ridiculous, because you could win and then you can go back and watch the tape and it's like, oh, illegal hands to the face, or he fucking held you, or any of a number of reasons, but everyone on the loudspeaker who heard, oh, well, that guy's a loser.
Yeah,
so,
quick pop, too, quick pop.
Yeah.
And then, it's just, Urban Meyer has a reason for it, and maybe they were doing a drill that it was very easy to see who won and who lost. I'm not saying I wasn't there, I have no idea, but the amount of drills for special teams that have happened where on the field, this guy's going to make the roster, and like this guy's dominating today, and then in the film it's like, oh, that guy held every
time.
That guy held every, that's a 15. We're starting inside the 10 every single time this guy's potentially on the field. It's just, training camp is tough, especially with some days are going to be really sloppy for some guys, and some days are going to be bad days, some people, and some days there's going to be great days for people, It's tough. Training camp is a tough animal to get a good grasp on who's doing what.
Well, and that's what we were talking earlier about, like Rodgers too. It seems like the only footage we see of him is like when he's out there just joshing around, having a good time. Like it's very selective at what we do see from these training camp practices, and it really does like shape how a lot of people view whoever that person is like going into the season.
Green Bay Packers are going to crush. That offense is going to be better than ever.
Yeah.
Aaron is throwing the ball.
He's thrown 10 balls this preseason. He fucking sank all of them in the goddamn corner net 65 yards away.
Boom. Off it. Back foot, by the way. Fade away in the torrential downpour.
What does that tell you?
Packers going to win the Super Bowl.
MVP.
Aaron Donald lost that rep to that offensive lineman, said Pro Football Focus.
He might get cut.
He lost it.
Is his MVP rate going? It has to be going through the roof with that one rep.
Well, I mean, he better not be a 99 in Madden anymore, I'll tell you that much.
It is. I can understand why people watch things and think the way they do, especially with what they're being told by people who are supposed to be the ones enlightening people on things. But once you get in there and you peek behind the curtain, you realize, like, oh, there's some shit that is nowhere near what everybody else is thinking.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that. And I think I was very, 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 very lucky to be able to kind of watch all these incredible things happen right in front of me, try to be as observant as possible and not fuck anything up. And I think that's why the show does okay. It'll eventually stink, but I'm very thankful for the opportunities to get a chance to see why and how the sausage got made. AJ Hawk did a lot of that as well. He'll join us on the other side. Cheers. Roman, a men's health brand that can dance very well and make you the best you possible. Are you suffering from male pattern baldness? Dahn, we got something for that. Herpes. See ya. Premature ejaculation, gone. No more coming too quick. Allergies as well. And that's not all. We have clinically tested supplements for everything, including erectile dysfunction. Come on! Bye-bye! GetRoman.com/Pat. Be the best you possible. What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on you. You don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them. Nice. But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. Like, when did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
Did you hear everything that was being said whenever you were potentially...
Just from you.
Oh, so you did hear it. Yeah. Okay. So, let's address it.
Hold on.
All right.
You can be a hater.
No.
You can change.
Carson.
You can change. We can change.
No, at the moment I was at, Carson. With the Daily Show, the live Daily Show, we can potentially get referred to as prisoners of the moment. You probably did hear me say some things. That was at a much different time.
Backtrack a little bit.
No!
It's cool. We're here face to face. You can change. People change, all right?
By the way, you are much bigger than I thought you were. When Jalen gets drafted there, was that the beginning of it all? Was there a miscommunication? What happened between you and Doug? Because they were saying it was fractured beyond repair.
Yeah.
What happened there? Is all of that accurate? Is that all kind of getting blown out of proportion?
Yeah.
And where did it start?
For one, I don't like to ever come out and say reporters aren't telling the truth because I don't. But
Orlovsky does it.
I'm not. I'm not going to dispute every report that's out there. The way the season went obviously wasn't ideal. When Jalen was drafted, that had no bearing on me. I trusted the organization. Okay. I signed that contract. I was devoted to them, and I felt like they were devoted to me. So I trusted the pick. That had no bearing on my confidence or my abilities. The season unfolded not how I would have liked it. Personally, I could have played better. We lost a lot of games at the end and just didn't fall into place the way we wanted. But there's a lot to learn from it, as a man, as a player, and all those things. And I have still a lot of respect for Coach Pederson, and I think without a doubt those reports are very exaggerated. Like I said, I don't hear a lot of them. They come to my attention from my agents or different things.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for him, and it was unfortunate for everybody and how the whole thing kind of just went down.
There was a couple still shots that made its way around where you and Doug Pederson appeared to be giving each other a nasty look.
I saw those.
It's not true.
Not true at all.
Oh, you were not saying, I wish you died. With your
I don't even think I was looking at him in those shots. So I did see that. I'm like, of course, they're going to play this one up. They're going to make a story out of anything. That's how it is. So, but yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear you weren't giving Doug Pederson death looks. Like, you never thought, like, oh, football isn't for me. Like, there was never a thought where I don't like football anymore. Or I don't want to be in this bullshit league anymore with this business. There was never a thought like that?
No, don't get me wrong. The way the season went, it was frustrating. And
People
so
have those moments.
that's why I stepped away, and it almost rejuvenated me. You know, it's almost like last year pissed me off so much. I want to come back in a different way and do everything I can. I am thrilled to be here and to have this new start, new opportunity. And the community seems amazing. The fan base seems amazing. Like we said, it seems like the perfect fit.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, Hour 2, Tuesday, August 10th, 2021, years after zero. The Hammered Dahn boys join us in studio, and a legend from Ohio is here. Thank you for listening on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio, YouTube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Call our 5-hour energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. Joining us now from an attic that is beautifully set up to have perfect audio and terrible internet. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, college football national champion, AJ Hall. Hey! What's up, dude?
What's happening, guys? I caught a little bit of the show, man, first hour. I'm pretty sure Francis Ngannou runs the Gridiron Gang Bleacher Report account.
Okay, so it's BR Gridiron, and if it's Ngannou, I ended my statement saying, I won't fight anybody. I don't want to fight anybody.
I'm over.
Just smack in the mouth, I said.
Yeah.
By the way, will not do that to Francis Ngannou, or if they got like Chris Lytle over there running Bleacher Report Gridiron or anything like that. I mean, I guess I did maybe pop off a little bit too quickly. I didn't like what they did, AJ. I didn't like what they did. They painted me in a bad light, I thought, there.
I get it. When I saw this, I didn't see your interaction with them on Twitter, Instagram, whatever this was. But yeah, to say you got out of the way when you can clearly see you were diving for him, like you didn't get out of the way.
I got shook, AJ, you know, and I know we weren't teammates or anything like that, but I feel like as a punter or kicker, your job is to get good field position. Okay, if I am on the field in a tackling situation, unless it's a blocked field goal, which by the way, I have a tackle there too. So it's like, if the kicking and kickoff and punting, you're trying to get good field position. That's all you're trying to do is pin them back as far as possible. If you have to make a tackle, you have fucked over everybody. Okay, so whenever you see kickers or punters at the past, I don't think many do that nowadays, by the way. I think nowadays it's a little bit different, even though there are some guys who would definitely make business decisions on a regular basis. But if you don't go for it, you're losing the locker room, I think, immediately, and that was massive for me. Like, I don't know. I always thought that was a big deal. Like, hey, at least they see that I'm not happy that I fucked them over with bad field position. You know what I mean?
Well, and the coverage team has to feel very bad that it got to you. That's the thing. Like, I used to tell our punters, kickers, anyone on kickoff, I'd be like, hey, man, kick the ball as far as you can. Just run the hell to the sideline. We shouldn't need you. We don't need you getting hurt, especially if he's really good.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there was probably a lot of options for them to tweet or post to get out of the way. There's been a lot of those. I just don't like that I'm particularly being associated with that because I'm too dumb to do that. So please have respect for that. Now, let's move on about respect. Have you seen, Michael Thomas and the Saints is not good. Jay Glazer told us yesterday it's not going to end good from a park in Ohio. This morning he landed in Cleveland and did not have a rental car. They could take his reservation. They couldn't hold his reservation. I saw it on Instagram. We hope Jay Glazer has figured it out. Hashtag Jay knew about Michael Thomas and the Saints. Hashtag Jay didn't know about the rental car situation in Cleveland. We found out about that on Instagram. But Michael Thomas and the Saints, this is becoming a personal public thing now, right? This is becoming an entire thing. Can they get over this? Like Russ and the Seahawks were able to do, like Aaron and the Packers might be able to do? Or do you think this is potentially because it involves medical, it involves the body, it involves a potential wasted year? There's a lot that is into this. You think they get past this? Because I don't think they can lose Michael Thomas right now.
Well, I'm sure Michael Thomas has a very good idea of how valuable he is to that team. Like when he looks around, like, hey, man, they need me, especially when we're trying to transition from a Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get over it because I don't know how deep it is. And I'm sure if you listen to both sides, I bet they sound drastically different on how they each view the situation. So what is the truth? Like, hopefully it all comes out eventually, but I'm sure they both feel very differently on how everything went down.
Well, my favorite part of this one is it does feel as if, now after learning of Michael Thomas's liked tweets, which some people say, guy can't like a tweet. It's like, no, yeah, you can. But Michael Thomas has to know that everybody's going to see this.
Yep.
That's what Twitter is. These likes mean absolutely nothing other than how somebody's potentially feeling if they're in a moment where we don't know their side of the story. I think that is when likes become very important. He liked a couple tweets from people basically explaining his side of this whole thing because you haven't heard it, which he also tweeted about the other day about not saying his side is basically saving the reputation of everybody else. But I think if you kind of dissect and use your Blues Clues magnifying glass on this thing, I think Michael Thomas is alluding to the fact he was forced to play through injuries last year. They didn't want a surgery last year because they thought they could go on a run. He said he came back allegedly for Drew Brees' last run. Was that a decision that was made between he and the medical staff? And then an entire year was basically wasted. He was benched at one point because he got into a fight with somebody. So I think both sides feel very good about why they're pissed off. And anytime you have those types of situations, you run into almost the politics situation where there's a lot of You just got to hope somebody goes in there and says, can we put our swords aside? Okay, we signed a big-time deal together. We like each other. We fucked up. Can we just move along? But I don't know if that's going to happen in the world today.
I mean, it's going to be difficult. And I guess the Saints can say, yeah, we mutually agreed that, yeah, you may have to have surgery in the offseason, but I guess they could come back and say, why didn't you have it in March? Is that what they're worried about? Like, they're mad that it happened in June and not in March?
Yeah, well, he wasn't answering calls either. I think after he looked back on the year and had some conversations and realized he was probably talked into playing through a pretty serious injury, he probably got a little bit pissed off, lost some trust probably in some people that were maybe telling him some stuff. I don't know. This is all just assumptions from trying to piece together the story. That's what we're going to do on a regular basis. Probably get it wrong a lot. Might hit close to home a couple different times. That's what it feels like. He lost trust probably in some people that were telling him to do some stuff whenever he found out how hurt he was. And now it's just one big, massive situation where they cannot lose Michael Thomas. Hammer down, boys, in the studio. Tone Diggs, COVID Cowboy, Bubba Gumpino. Are we still hot or not?
1-1 last night. There wasn't much on the slate. We got a full slate of ball tonight.
Did you put a bet on where Messi was headed to? Because you said PSG immediately upon us asking you that on this show. It is official. Messi has signed with Paris Saint-Germain. Wow.
Hey, good call,
Hey, glory! PSG, here we go. Total agreement completed on a 2-year contract option to extend until June 24. Salary around $35 million net per season. Add-ons included. Shout out to Argentina and France coming together.
35 million euro, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, net. Net. So it's like 45 million American, I believe. They're beating the fuck out of us.
Wait, they list it in net?
Yeah, that's what it said right there. 35 million net.
Wow, okay.
So is that post-tax?
Yeah.
Nice. Why don't we start doing that over here?
Should.
I agree.
Make a lot more sense.
Hey, shout out to the soccer world doing that. Post-taxes, this is what you're going to make, as opposed to over here where you hear these hilarious numbers and then you forget Uncle Sam's going to get 50 to 60% of that. Uncle Sam just signed a big contract as well. Congrats to Messi. Congrats PSG. This is good, right?
Yeah.
Hey, he showed up to sign his contract this morning, and they had like the French Navy SEALs surrounding him and shutting down buildings. There was like 55 motorcycles that shut down a road. A lot of costumes, uniforms, costumes, a lot of guns, it was no guns, I guess, in France you can't, but it was crazy. It was crazy over there. Congrats to Messi, congrats to PSG, congrats to this man who just got a chance this past weekend to see 2 more players that he coached go into the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Current quarterback coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts, living legend, friend of the show, ladies and gentlemen, Clyde Christensen.
Yeah!
How are you?
Great. I am doing great.
How was the weekend? It looked like you were having a blast. You looked fantastic.
It was surreal. It was special. It was special. All of it. The whole thing was special. Whoever thought you'd be taking Brady to a Colts party, Irsay's Colts party? I felt like I was taking one of the Crips to one of the Bloods parties. And, I was just hoping no violence. No violence. We tried to keep them away from anyone to do with Deflategate. So it was a little bit stressful with the Cribs and the Bloods in the same party there, but we really did have a special time, really special.
Well, that's something that Clyde Christensen could navigate through. If we put him in the streets, he can maybe make that happen as well. That is what you have done your entire coaching career, bring people together, make people realize the best in themselves and everything like that. It's an incredible skill that you have. But let's talk about Tom and Peyton, obviously, because those two, they have a friendship now at this point, so much so that he was invited to the Colts thing. Whenever that entire stadium booed him, he knew that was coming, right? I mean, that's Raiders fans, Steelers fans, Colts fans, Broncos fans. He has ruined everybody's life there. Did he know that boo was coming?
All football other than New England fans hate him. Yeah, including us for many years. But I think he knew it was coming. He's a good sport. I say it all the time, but just he continues to amaze me. That for him to just jump on a plane and go up to Peyton's thing and just to support another quarterback and a friend and another guy, it was really. I thought it was above and beyond the Call of Duty, and he was great at that thing. He was great. He was patient. He just I thought it showed a lot for him to, in the middle of training camp, to go up there and do that. First time he's ever been to it, so that kind of shows you what kind of guy he is.
Clyde, I think the last time we had you on was the morning after your Super Bowl victory, and I think Tom had texted you that morning saying something about how he's ready to get back at it or whatever's going on. Now you're already, bam, you snap your fingers, we're already in camp, you have another season. Does it feel different? Like, do you guys feel like you have to, like, the tempo's got to even elevate because you have this success and it's always tough to repeat?
Yeah, it does. It just feels. It really has been smooth. It doesn't feel much different, but we're a better football team. We're more experienced. Last year it was such a scramble because we didn't have the off season, and we were trying to get Tom up to snuff. We were trying to get to know him. We were trying to figure out what he likes, and that took all year. And so this year we got a little bit of an off season. We kind of know what we have. The roster kind of stayed intact, so it's been a lot smoother. We're way ahead of where we were last year at this point. There's just comfortability. But this guy, someone asked the other, no complacency. There's no chance of complacency. It was the same with Peyton. This guy's not going to allow that to happen. That's not even an issue. This guy just works and demands and of himself and of the team and of the whole building. And so it's really been fun. We've stayed healthy. I think he got that knee cleaned up. He feels better. I think he feels better physically. So I think the whole camp's been a lot better. The COVID things slowed down a little bit. Where at least now it's scrambling. You don't know where you're going to meet. Last year we didn't know where we were going to meet half the time. It was indoors, it was outdoors, it was here. You couldn't meet. You had to do it Zoom, and this year's been smoother that way. So I think we've gotten a lot more done.
Why is BA saying that every time you guys go and get drunk and have a day off, the team stinks? What happened? You guys go to Hall of Fame? Tom Brady's taking pictures with Tony Dungy and Peyton Manning. You're up there. BA's up there. Goody's up there. You guys come back. He said, every time we have a day off, these fucking guys stink. What is that all about? You guys getting complacent down there, Coach? Hall of Fame hangover?
I think he may have been a little grumpy. I saw it first. We're on the plane going up there. Here's when you know when you're traveling with Tom Brady. He was eating cauliflower pretzels, and I had organic popcorn on the way home. So I think it might have been the cauliflower pretzels that got him mad, a little steamed up a little bit. But it's good. It's that time of year, and you just want to push, and it doesn't always look great, and you're repping a lot of people. You're trying a lot of combinations. It doesn't always look good, but we're going to get there. I think we're going to get there. We're practicing. This is kind of a unique group. They just practice. They play. You don't have a whole bunch of drama, and you just improve. Every time we go on the field, I feel like we improve. That was what the story was last year. We just kept going out there practicing, and we just kept getting better and better and better. So that was I think this group's really good that way.
Were you and Tom in a honeymoon phase? And it seems like you're maybe still in it because the way you talk about him. I know that Peyton, used to potentially send you text messages 3, 4 a.m. Make sure you're, hey, are we up? Are we still watching all the film that we can potentially watch? I need answers. This type of thing. Is Tom?
Not used to. Still does. Yeah, I need you to do this. Have you checked on this? Have you checked on that? Is this guy coming this weekend? Who do we want this guy sitting by? Yeah, no, that he never stops. He never, ever stops.
What are those two like, though? I think this is a difficult thing for you to do, but you're one of the only humans that has a close enough relationship, both professionally and personally, with Peyton and Tom. And those two forever, there'll be documentaries about them 100 years from now for what they did for the NFL for so long and what they'll continue to do. And Peyton's speech was fucking unbelievable with being a steward of the game. But when you look at those two guys, did you see them ever becoming friends? Does it make sense why they get along, why they have gotten to this point? Or what are your thoughts on Peyton and Tom, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think that the respect between between them is unbelievable. I do think that I think this. I remember there was a time when they got together down in Chattanooga that there were very few people who understood what each of them went through. They understand what each of them went through with the demands on their time, with the demands of playing well, the pressures of doing it year after year after year at such a high level. I think there's an unbelievable respect that, there's not many people, we can't understand what it's like to be Peyton Manning. Tom Brady can. He has a similar situation, and I do think that kind of bonded them together, and they get to the same point. They have some of the same genes. They love their jobs. They love football. They have an unbelievable respect for the game of football, and that I love about them. They both love their jobs. Like, it's 365 days a year. I don't know that they enjoy anything as much as they enjoy football. Now, one of them, Peyton loved to have things right from the beginning. Tom's probably a little bit easier going, and hey, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Peyton wanted everything right by Monday morning at 9 o'clock, for the whole week of game week. Tom's, hey, we'll be fine. On Friday, we still got 3 more days of practice. Today didn't look real sharp, but we're going to get there. We'll get everyone right into the same spot. So they both lead different ways. Peyton, they're both elite leaders. Peyton led kind of by a respect and a demand and that you just knew how hard he was working. Tom kind of leads by an easygoing kindness, but just driving people, but kind of drives them with a kindness to them, where you did. But both of them, you don't want to let them down because they just play and they prepare at such a high level that I think that the biggest characteristic leadership wise is no one wants to let them down. You're afraid you don't want to run a wrong route. You don't want to let your guy hit the quarterback, and so a lot of similar genes, and probably get to the same thing different ways. But gosh, when you get them to the track to run, when you get them to the ballpark, man, they like to play football. They love to play football, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to be a tiny part of.
Clyde, have you ever seen either of those, Peyton or Tom, have to tell people to relax? Because I can imagine if there's a new receiver or something, and you wouldn't be loose early on. You'd be worried about letting these guys down. Have you ever seen them have to go, McAfee? It's all right. Just do what you do. You're here for a reason.
Yeah. Every once in a while, they tend to like them on edge. I think they kind of want them half scared of them. I do believe this. That like with Peyton, such a great weekend this weekend. But Peyton, he kind of liked that you were scared to come out to walk through. You'd see everyone at their locker just studying that script because you want to screw up in the walkthrough. There was no. It's just a walkthrough, or it's just the preseason game. You never felt that way with Peyton. I felt that way whenever you went into a meeting with him. If I was going in there to do a third down thing, you're taking one last look at all the pictures because you're going, because all of a sudden,
what could he ask?
He's just that if you walk in there unprepared, he's going to eat your lunch, and he's going to be disappointed and angry, and you just kind of don't want to let him down because he's done his part, and so. Once in a while, they'll say, "Hey, just relax and play." But a lot of times, I think that part of it is that edge that they kind of like having. That hey, you're playing with Peyton Manning. You learn this stuff fast. I remember Pierre Garçon, who came from a small school, and then but just would just fret over. Hey, I cannot bust a route. I cannot bust a play. And I think that makes the whole team better. I really do think it lifts the whole play. If you're the cook, right, you don't want crappy piece of chicken, because Peyton's coming through the line. Like the whole building gets better. The whole building gets better, and Pat witnessed it. And it's the same with Tom. That just how you do treatment, how long you stay out with a high ankle sprain, how long that everything. It's unbelievable how everything just the level rises, and you don't want to miss practice. You don't want to let these guys down. That's what they demand. That's what they kind of command out of the whole building.
Now, Clyde, incredible answer, by the way. You're one of the only people that can give that type of answer. But what you said there about how the chefs want to make a better piece of chicken and everything like that, that was literally my entire take when Tom Brady became a free agent. I was like, listen, there is, 28 teams that want to get Tom Brady in their building. Because if Tom Brady gets in there, there is extra reps happening all of a sudden. There is no missed film. There is no mistreatment. You don't want to be the reason. Like, I don't want to be the reason why we don't go. We got the guy. The culture can be flipped immediately with one person, especially at that position. And I guess that is exactly what happened in Tampa. There were some teams that didn't want him, Clyde. There was people that didn't want Tom Brady. That whole clip at the shop, I don't know if you know the answer or not. If you do, you can give us. He won't be mad. But when he said you're sticking with that motherfucker, that's like real. I was so confused on why not 28 teams wanted to bring him in. It's like you get a chance to get greatness in. It's going to make everybody better. I saw with Peyton. I was very lucky to do so. Even Andrew Luck as well. It's just like, how did people not want him, Clyde? How's that even happen?
No, that's amazing. Every once I won't mention the names, but every once in a while I'll tease about a club, and just go, oh yeah, they wanted him over you, and like he's funny that way. He's never gotten over that first draft. I think that's just the way he fuels himself, and he keeps it underneath. But don't think that isn't boiling inside. He knows exactly who did and didn't believe in him, and took someone instead of him, and. It's interesting. Like last year, even I was teasing that the 49ers took Josh Rosen. I go, yeah, they could have had you, and they took Josh Rosen. There you go. I mean, it's a fact, right? So
hey, why don't we? Hey, maybe a couple more drills, huh? Maybe a little less avocado ice cream, huh, Tom? Maybe a little bit more, you'll get picked over the Rosen one, Clyde.
I wish you could have seen BA. Eating his cauliflower pretzels.
What is cauliflower?
What
is cauliflower? Cauliflower?
Cauliflower pretzels.
What are you saying, Clyde? It's cauliflower, right? It's not called the flower. You're not calling a flower. Yeah, call a flower.
Okay, you don't look like I look eating a lot of that kind of stuff. I can't pronounce it and I don't eat it. Obviously.
The thought of BA getting fed the TB12 food while he's hungover. Yeah. While he's incredibly hungover, Hall of Fame hangover, getting cauliflower chips, going right into a press. These boys fucking stink. That is so funny.
It was unbelievable. Peyton's party and just the people and the quality of the people. I wish you'd been there. We needed you there, but it was. BA was in rare form, and everyone. Irsay threw a heck of a party, and boy, did we, Mr. Irsay threw a heck of a party, and it was special, man. That was a special run we had there, led by an incredible quarterback and leader, and who brought that thing together. It was something else.
I saw Tareen was there and everything. It looked like an absolute blast. A couple of the boys got some questions for you, Clyde. We appreciate you in the middle of training camp taking some time, especially after the Hall of Fame weekend. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Clyde, after the season, it came out that Tom was dealing with a pretty bad knee injury. How long was that going on for, and did that affect his day-to-day pretty seriously?
Yeah, I think it did. He, I didn't know what it was. I think he just had it for a while. I still don't know exactly what it was. I just knew he wasn't 100%. He knew he wasn't 100%. And I think it was just, how you just don't feel good. He didn't feel great. He never felt great all year and just had to tape the thing. And, he wasn't on, it wasn't debilitating. He didn't miss practices or anything like that. But I think just feel, how you just want to feel 100%. And I think he's close to that this year. I think we're probably another week or so away from him just being 100%. But I think it did hurt his mobility a little bit, and we're not putting in any read option or anything like that. But he just is moving around. You can just tell he feels better. So that's I think that's good news for the Bucs.
I think I saw him shagging balls on one of his G days he had where he was off. He was literally shagging balls for Kyle Trask. And I wonder if Kyle Trask at any moment while throwing either a good pass or a bad pass thought to himself, is Tom Brady shagging balls for me right now? What an incredible...
Yeah.
Because it feels like... About, what was it? The bye week was a late bye week last year, and it felt like that was really when Tom and maybe everybody got to meet and kind of look at the season that was, and then kind of change and maybe figure out what was best for you guys going forward. That place has become the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, huh? He has his hands in every. It seems like he is. It has been a very quick turnaround.
Yeah, he just serves. I mean, he really, For me, I've only known him a year. I never had met him all those times we played him, and but every day he does something. Like this weekend was something that was amazing to me. And you mentioned it the other day when you and I were talking on the phone that that I was working with Trask. We do some extra work with him, and there's Brady out there snapping gun snaps for him, shagging balls, moving the bags around for me, just helping. And I think that is who he is. That is who he is, and. I'll give you the other story that was amazing to me is we fly back, we go up there and we went hard. It was a great weekend up there. We went as, everyone, just met everybody. It was, we were teasing. It's like you go into someone's family reunion that's not your family. You don't know anybody, and me and BA know everybody. Coach Moore. He went with Coach Moore, Tom Moore, me, BA to a Colts thing. Where like you're at someone else's family reunion, if you will,
and you hate that family, by the way,
and just went as hard as we could go and had a blast and just it was a great time. But then you came home. We got home probably 2:15 to bed, and was ready to give him the day off the next day, and just say hey, just let's ease back into this thing, and we're on our feet for all of it. That he was on his feet for all that time, and shoot, that sucker was out there, at 8 o'clock. At 11:15, we're at the party. At 8 o'clock the next morning, he's going through bags and doing drill work and all the stuff that we would have let him out of if he wanted to, and he loves it. He loves it, and actually had one of his best practices thrown. I was teasing him that maybe a little blue Colt dust, little Peyton dust fell on him, and he goes, no, that didn't happen. So he's busy purging himself right now. He said he got about enough Colts, I think, for his lifetime. He was funny, but the guy comes home, gets off the plane, goes home, gets no sleep, comes in. 1,000 degrees down here, and he's out there at 8 o'clock and going back through the bags and the ropes and throwing balls and doing drill work and just practicing like he does, like business as usual, which is amazing to me.
Well, he has to, right? That's probably one of those things where everybody's going to see me at this thing. Yeah. If I'm not in practice the next morning, how could I ever? And it's like, I think I've heard this story from a couple Patriots up there. Like Vrabel allegedly is a guy who could go till whenever, however, and then the next morning, if something's going on, he's going to win every race as well. And it's like there's only a couple humans that continue to be like that. I think that's an old school mentality. It's very nice to know that avocado ice cream, Tom Brady, can go until 2:15 a.m. and still wake up at 8 a.m. the next day. Let's go. Tom's got another 10 years.
He may have 10 years. I don't know if I do, but he does.
Go ahead, Diggs.
Clyde, I had a question. So you brought him up, your young second-round pick, Kyle Trask. Some people, not me obviously, but some degenerates will bet on the preseason. How do we think Kyle Trask is going to look in the preseason? Are we going to give?
I mean, he's not allowed.
Are we going to give Tom and Blaine some rest?
He's not.
Yeah, I would say you're going to see a lot of Trask in the preseason, and I'm not recommending any bets at this point. He is improving like crazy, but those things are they can be torture there, that second half of those preseason games. I wish I could skip some of those second halves of those preseason games myself, but they're not pretty. They're not pretty.
You have people that are never going to play in the NFL playing in that particular half of football, and they don't really get a lot of reps in practice either. That's why they're playing in the third and fourth quarters. They have no idea what they're doing out there.
Zero preparation for it. Almost zero game plan. It's not their fault. It's just the way it is, and you get them a little bit ready, but they don't have much of a chance. But it'll be great experience for Kyle. We're getting him as many reps. We're carrying 4 quarterbacks right now, so it's hard to, it's a little bit hard, but that's why we're using some of the pre-practice and post-practice, just trying to get them as much work as we can. And glad that, it's kind of ideal that we're probably not, hopefully not going to need them this year to step up and go. So the development process can be steady and slow, and we'll get him there. And he's improving. I'm excited about the kid.
We're talking to Clyde Christensen, Tampa Bay Buccaneer quarterback coach. BA announced that Tom will play in the first preseason game. He'll get a drive or two. Is that Tom deciding that? You guys deciding that? What goes into that decision? Because there's other stars that are not playing at all, I think, in the preseason, especially with the 17-game season now. How did that decision come to be?
I would say that probably BA and Tom sat down, and BA probably said, what do you think about the first game? And he probably said, I'd love to get a few reps. And I don't know exactly how it happened, but usually BA is going to talk, and he's going to have a strong feeling on it, but he's going to run it through the players, and usually that'll be kind of mutually decided upon. And with only 3 games, it's hard to sit them. It's a different year this year. For 1,000 since every year since I got in this league, you had 4, and everyone kind of followed the same script, and it was heavy in the third one, and you took them into the second half one. Now, do you want to do that in the third? Is it going to be in the second game? Do you spread them out over the 3 games? So I think it'll be interesting to see how everyone uses these. The Rams I saw were probably none, for their quarterback. So people are kind of rethinking this thing with with only 3 games and the 17 games to follow. So I think it'll be interesting to see what everyone does, and I think some will be experimentation just because we haven't done that. Last year was 0 preseason games, so this will be new.
What's the plan for guys like that? If say Tom or say Peyton was playing in a preseason game, are you just saying, hey, let's get the ball out of his hands as quick as we can and let's just work out? Let's get a few game time handoffs and then get him off the field.
As fast as you can get him out of there. That's exactly right. Max protection, just throw that thing away. Don't let anyone touch you. Yeah, and let's just get a feel for it. And especially, this is 21st year for Tom. But I the good thing, you do. Hopefully, I think we're going to practice with Tennessee with the Titans, so you can get it kind of in a little more controlled. And that's the ideal thing, is to get in a little bit more controlled situation, and that's more ideal than the preseason games where you don't know what you're going to get or what you're going to see, and you sure don't want to get them hit.
Go ahead, Ty.
Clyde, does it ever get frustrating or aggravating when you're coaching a guy like Tom or Peyton, and okay, there's probably a good chance that I'm not going to be able to show this guy something he hasn't seen? Like, does it make you have to kind of change your coaching philosophy at all, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite. It's kind of the opposite and it's a thing that I've had a lot of fun with. Like, okay, so you know darn well that this, when you set your goals for this training camp, it's not to improve 20% or do this or that, but it is a challenge for a coach to, hey, how do I get Tom Brady better? What are we going to attack and get 1% better at? And that's kind of the challenge and kind of the fun thing with working with these high performance guys that that they want to get better. They're looking at you. Okay, how are you going to get me better? And then that's the challenge, figuring out, hey, how are we going to get them better, and showing them how that's going to work. And so it actually is really a great challenge. It's really fun because they can do it. You already got a foundation, so you're just looking for a 1 or a 2% improvement over last year. You're looking for certain areas. Here's some areas we can get better at. Hey, it's deep balls to our left, whatever that is. So I think that's kind of one of the fun things about working with the really elite guys that you can Trask. We can get him 25% better this year. Like that. That's easier. Learning the system, all those things. But the Peytons and the Toms, hey, you're just looking for some little areas that we can just keep getting them better, and then just making sure that we give them all the looks and put them in a position that they're ready to go when they get there.
You can still sling it or no?
Me or Tom?
You.
Me? Yeah, short. They say that my pat and go. I used to be in the middle. Now I'm over on the near hash. So I try and shorten it down a little bit. But accuracy wise, I still like to throw in my. We had a little contest the other day, and it was for a couple dollars, and
M&Ms, yeah.
and it was and Trask was the only one who hit. So Brady said, "Okay, if Clyde hits the goalpost and it's one tie, I'll tie." And I hit the goalpost and probably cost Trask a couple of his first mortgage
M&Ms.
payments. So I kind of felt bad about that. But every once in a while that one comes out right.
He used to be able to spin it. He always had this like 3/4 release almost. It was a 3/4 release. Ooh. That thing's like throwing a dart too. And he used to wear this long sleeve Colt shirt, blue. So they have this photo of him in full. I mean, just eyeing it down, just. Just.
It was. I'll tell you what was really fun is taking Tom and me, Reggie and Marv and Stoke and all those guys. It was really fun. Just the stories got going and those guys laughed. But those were fun times throwing those. Just the drill work to Marv and Reg and Stoke and Troy Walters and all those guys and of course those all came up. Those all came up this weekend, which was a blast.
Yeah, everybody loves to bury Clyde if they get a chance to, because Clyde is just the most lovable human of all time. Clyde, you really are. You're always optimistic, even though my wife doesn't think that. You'll say exactly whatever. But you are. You're like a guy that just radiates energy. You're incredible to be around. I assume everybody mentioned that this weekend. I'd like to reiterate that fact. You're a great coach. I appreciate you for joining us and have a hell of a training camp.
Not true, but I sure do love my job, and I appreciate you saying that. And you guys, that's what the weekend makes you grateful. Grateful for just great relationships and some great ball games and a great sport. And you were part of that, and I really appreciate that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Clyde Christensen. Thank you, man. Clyde used to be able to sling it now. We're talking perfect spirals, darts, just for drills, for all those drill works. And then obviously pat and go and warm-ups, where guys come out. He was there was always a beautiful ball down the sideline from Clyde Christensen. He's the best, AJ.
I mean, he seems like, just too good to be a coach. Like, too good of a dude to be a coach.
Well, that's the thing. He gets along with his wife, too, which is insane. You know what I mean? Because he's too good of a coach almost to be able to have a personal life. And yet again, at the Hall of Fame, that was reiterated again. I apologize for not being the best husband, the best father while I was in the game because of the amount of time it takes to commit there. Clyde is just... He's a lifer. You know what I mean? He's a football lifer. Yeah. He's unbelievable, and I'm thankful that he joined us. The internet attacked him a couple weeks ago, going after him, and it was not warranted. That guy, the way he operates, it's just good to be around.
Wait, for what? For the MCL thing?
No, he was attacked because Tom Brady has a quarterback coach. I think the exact quote was, if you ever feel like your job's a waste of time, know that Tom Brady has a quarterback coach. And it was actually a picture of Clyde Christensen. I was like, Clyde does not deserve this.
Come on.
Clyde does not deserve this right here. It's just like whenever they say the NFL water boys make $60,000 a year, it's like, oh, okay, those NFL water boys you're talking about are also up at 3 a.m. and they're up until midnight every day of their existence for 6 months in the football season. I just, take it easy on people. You know what I mean? Take it easy out here.
Yeah, I mean, Clyde seems like he doesn't really get too bothered by things like that, I'm guessing, though.
No, but somebody will bring it up to him, though. Like Tom probably.
Yeah.
Do you see this?
Oh, wow.
Look at this.
Oh, right. Of course. Life tip, if you're ever feeling useless, just remember Tom Brady is a quarterback coach. Yeah, and they have him without a mask on, too.
Come on.
Like a moment where he didn't have a mask on somehow. They're like, this is the guy.
On.
Clyde didn't deserve that, man.
So, hey, at first, I know you're going to break. At first, when you didn't say feeling useless, I was like, that's not bad. But when you say if you were ever feeling useless, yeah, that's an absolute shot at Clyde.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't remember it exactly. That is 100%
No,
on
I'm just
me.
saying, like, if before, it's much worse than I thought it was. I thought you were you was overblown a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was trying to soften it up, and then Zito's like, no, we got it. And then Foxy throws it up there. So I appreciate the boys in the back. Clyde didn't deserve it. We're back in 4 minutes. AJ, some phone calls. You down with that?
Absolutely. On the 5 Hour Energy phone line, right?
See you in 4 minutes.
Go, dude.
Couple people, one college kid, took a shot at my swag.
We noticed.
We know. We don't like that
I
kid.
don't think a lot of people understand what swag is. Some of this younger generation thinks, swag is just like the clothes I wear or whatever. No. Swag is a mentality. Yeah. Swag is a mindset. I try to tell this to some of the guys in the locker room this week. I said swagger, which is what swag comes from. Swagger is a mindset. Swagger isn't that you have a Supreme backpack on. or that you have your shoes, unlaced, walking around with, you got your new Louis fanny pack that you make sure it's not worn at your waist, it's worn over your shoulder. That's not swag. That's not swagger. That's fashion choices. True swag is owning your inner essence. It's a mindset. And my essence on the field is that I feel like I'm a throwback player and I'm a tough guy. What I've played through, how I wear my stuff, I'm kind of a no-nonsense, straightforward. To me, that's what swag is all about.
You're damn
all
right.
This like fake swag out there. I got my special towel. I got this. I got that. I got this writing out there. A lot of you guys are just posing.
All right. Is the MCDC name tag then? Because it's a long time. ACDC. Do you hate it? Do you love it? I feel like we potentially offended you after finding out you're a diehard Metallica guy and we call you MCDC.
No. Listen, I love classic rock as well. I don't strike you as a numbers guy.
Yeah, whenever I heard you, I was just like, you know what? I'm not 100% sure this guy is just going to be listening strictly to the analytics guy. I just kind of a feel I had.
I got through addition and subtraction. Look, the alpha comment was really, I wasn't directing that just at myself. I was saying that's Brad too. Brad's an alpha. That's our coaching staff. I mean, let me say this about our coaching staff. One of the reasons I made the hires that I did with these guys, I know you'll probably end up asking this, was because just coming out of this COVID, I wanted to make sure we had more flexibility with the roster. And if these coaches need to play maybe a couple of games, so, not everybody's thinking that way.
All right, it seems like every 3-4 years the Lions get a new head coach. It seems like the rebuilding process has been happening my entire life. 26 years old and I've never seen a playoff win for the Detroit Lions. So I want to know how you and your coaching staff plans to make this one different.
Yeah, look, first of all, I think I love Foxy, man. I tell you what, I love the optimism that he brings. Look, I would say this, to me, the short answer is Sheila Ford Ham. If you want hope, she's the one who's bringing the hope. Because I had put serious thought into this as I was hiring my staff. I was thinking about hiring you to see if you would like to be, our special teams coach. And then I thought, you know what, I know you doing this radio, it softened you up a little bit. I chose not to. All right, I hate to say that, Pat. I needed to just let that be known.
Well, I want to let you know, true alphas know when to hang them up. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Carroll.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back. We have 30 days until NFL football.
Yeah!
30 days. The season is going to be a celebration. So why would you go to a ticket platform that isn't easy to use to get your tickets to celebrate? SeatGeek is the easiest way to get tickets to celebrate life a little bit and go experience something live. Ain't that right?
Hell yeah.
The SeatGeek ticker, by the way, has been electrifying for our show, and SeatGeek saw it and said, we want to get involved. SeatGeek was our first ever partner. SeatGeek still remains a partner. Even after the entire world shut down and no live events happened, SeatGeek survived because SeatGeek is the greatest ticket buying platform on planet Earth and the moon. SeatGeek rates every ticket from 0 to 10 to make sure you're getting a good deal. Green means good, red means bad. Red means we have the ticket here, but it is a bad deal, but for whatever reason, the person selling it, this is what they want to do. There's a better option, it's in the green, because they go ahead and rate every ticket on the internet to make sure you're getting the most bang for your buck.
Bingo.
Every ticket? Every one. Well, they don't do it. I think they have a thing.
Algorithm.
No, I don't know if it is.
Checks and balances?
I don't. I think checks and balances are potentially a part of the algorithm.
Yes.
I think that is what an algorithm is, by the way.
Okay.
One big checks and balances. But shout out to SeatGeek for being the official sponsor of our ticket as we gear up for the season. Use code McAfee for $20 off your first order. That's code MCAFEE for $20 off your first order. You're alive but already living. Go live and experience something live with our friends at SeatGeek. They are the best. There's also a link in the bio if you're watching along at youtube.com/the Pat McAfee Show. AJ Hawk joins us from Mazatic. AJ, any breaking news to give?
Shockingly, over the last 4 minutes of break, I did not receive any breaking news.
Come on.
Well, what's that about?
I assume you guys did, though.
We thought you were potentially going to say Aaron Rodgers Tuesday was back. Is it?
Don't ask me. I mean, that's on you.
Oh.
What?
Oh, that's on me.
Thought we were a team.
Yeah.
We are a team. You're right, Gump. That was my bad. We are a team.
One team, one
That's
dream.
on us. It's on us. It's like a caddy, like a golfer. Jordan Spieth says, you know what? Well, we decided to hit 7-iron here, and then we got it within 10 feet, and we hit the putt.
Hell yeah.
I'll tell you what. Every kick that Vinatieri made, we decided to kick it through the uprights.
That's right.
That's why I should start selling that.
Yeah.
We decided, because I was like his caddy. You know, that's kind of what a holder is. You're like a caddy. Hey, Wynn seems to be doing a little bit of this. Remember this from warm-ups. Hey, there's a big fat drunk stooge right there. Let's aim at that particular person. Think it'll fade right in. Hey, you're hitting a little bit of ball to the right. Let's go ahead and aim maybe in a little bit left. You thinking about it? You thinking about it? Yeah. All right, let's do it. All right, let's keep them upbeat. Feel like that. But I should start saying we did it. You know what I mean? I think Vinny always did, by the way.
Really?
Big wee guy?
I think he was a big wee guy, yeah. Because it could potentially be 100% my fault that he misses.
True.
So
I mean, if you think about it, if you compare it to golf caddies, you have a lot more impact on that kick than a caddy has on any shot a golfer will hit.
A holder can miss a kick for somebody and make a kick for somebody. Never gets talked about. For instance, Nice Wander hit that 52-yarder out the sideline, coffin corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good punt.
Coffin, it was. It was almost a good one there. We have no idea what the hold was. That hold, if that ball's moving, you might as well just go ahead and jot that down as a miss. If it was a good hold, he just got a little bit weak and just kind of opened up. But well, welcome back to the show. We enjoy it, and we hope that Aaron Rodgers Tuesday happens.
Snapper make and miss a kick as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, the holder is the buffer, but remember the laces are on the snapper. People forget because Dan Marino and Ace Ventura had a little bit of the thing there with Finkel
and Einhorn
and then Finkel and Einhorn and Finkel and Finkel is Einhorn. What a movie, by the way. Let's go to the phones, the 5 Hour Energy phone line. Let's go to Shitty J in Ontario, Canada. International caller here at 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code
Pat
to get 10% off your order. McAfee, code McAfee at 5hourenergy.com. What do you want, Shitty J?
What's up, Pat and boy?
Am I getting it right? Shitty J or City J is potentially what it's supposed to be.
It's Shitty J. You got it right.
Okay, Shitty J. Let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about, man?
I just wanted for the Hammer Down boys. You guys ever take any runs on the Russian ping pong scene?
Pat does, actually.
Yeah, thank you. You should have been asking me that question, Shitty J, you fuck. I'm the big. I am the biggest Russian ping pong gambler.
I just want to let you know that was not we. That was the caller.
No, I agree, but he doesn't know that I'm the biggest Russian ping pong gambler maybe to ever exist.
Running.
Fuck.
Yeah, you fuck. But I lose every time, so I maybe should be asking you guys the same question. You guys got any leads over there in the Russian ping pong thing?
Whoever keeps it on the table.
Wait, is there a tournament going on?
No, you just wake up some mornings and you open your FanDuel Sportsbook app and you just kind of check how you did last night, and then all of a sudden you'll see a couple live things. You know what I mean? It'll be Russian ping pong will be happening. It's like, well, might as well live bet this thing, just see how the day is going. It's like a scratch off. You know what I mean? It's like a scratch off. You just go. And I like to read the odds because I think the odds makers know more than I do. So if it seems like there is a fair shot and I'm getting a little bit of money and I'm going to go for it, I have lost every time I have attempted that, though. So maybe Shitty J knows that. Who should we bet on in Russian ping pong?
Sergei Kuznetsov.
Yeah, I was going to say Stretsov, too, is pretty good.
Yeah, and I think Malkin, too, whenever he gets on.
He's an up-and-comer.
Fedorov.
Datsuk's over there.
Ovechkin, I think, just signed a long-term deal with the Capitals, which means his ping pong game will continue to grow.
Probably pretty good.
Unbelievable.
Chara, brother.
Orpik.
Chara's like a
Slovakian dude.
Putin.
Well, and Orpik's a U.S.
Americans.
What are you gonna say next? Yarmir Yager, dude?
No, Orpik actually went to Russia to challenge everyone who plays over there.
All right, let's go to. You think Putin gets involved in that Russian ping pong and just
Have you
wins?
watched him play hockey? Yes, he definitely gets involved.
What do you mean?
Oh, I've seen him score 8 goals in one game.
Mm-hmm.
Remember he
Triple deke.
hit that one timer.
Unbelievable. Goalie was trying to.
And then that red carpet came out of nowhere. That was on the ice.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
Full panic.
Ate
Well, that guy's
shit.
dead.
Never seen the carpet guy since.
He's a speed bump.
I honestly don't think I've seen a red carpet since.
No.
Just all red carpets were banned in Russia. Let's go to Kyle in South Dakota. What's going on, Kyle?
Hey, Pat, AJ, and the boys. How's it going?
Just hanging out, Kyle. How are you, dude?
Doing all right. I got a couple things for you, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Can't wait.
All right. One, Will Lutz suffered a injury last season, opted not to have surgery. Michael Thomas, same damn thing. Michael Thomas is getting blown out of the water for this shit. Will Lutz, not a word is being said about it. That's bullshit. Get the medical staff out of New Orleans. They fucked up over the last 10 years repeatedly. Now for my second thing.
Okay.
I wanted to know, back in, I think it was 2009, when you guys played the Saints in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
What were your thoughts going through your head when Thomas Morstead hit that onside kick at halftime?
Thank you, Kyle. Great question out of South Dakota. We appreciate that on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. You all right?
Round of applause. That took 20 minutes.
Legitimately impossible for him to see what we were pointing at from where he was
I
standing.
did not see a goddamn thing.
There's a table that this golf ball was under, and the table just so happens to be sitting at the same place where I guess it is impossible to see underneath from Gumpy. He just had to crawl on the floor to get this golf ball. Gumpy, thank you, man.
Had a big go.
Sweat.
I thought you were going to be able to
Thank
reach
you,
that.
Gump.
I didn't know you had to crawl, but I appreciate your
I
effort
could
there.
not see a damn thing.
Will Lutz with a core injury. I did not know he had that last year, and he delayed a surgery, and then it led to this moment where he's going to be out, and they just signed Meyer, I believe, formerly of the Cowboys. They just brought him in. Will Lutz is an elite kicker. Very, very, very good at kicking footballs. Him being out is a big deal. Hopefully Meyer will be able to make some kicks. I did not know that he passed on surgery last year, just like Michael Thomas did. Seems like they were going all in last year. I don't know why the surgeries wouldn't happen as soon as the season ended. That's going to have to be explained at some point, AJ.
I mean, this happens though. Like, around the NFL, this happens, like different timetables on returns, and also, hey, should you get the surgery now? Should you wait, or can we just rehab this thing and ultimately not get surgery? There's always going to be disagreements. Every doctor you talk to may have a different opinion too. So, I mean, this isn't rare, but it's kind of rare how public, I guess, Michael Thomas's situation is.
Well, and now Will Lutz as well. Even though Kyle was like, "Hey, we're all yelling at Michael Thomas. What about Will Lutz?"
But did he go dark on him for 3 months and all that though?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe doesn't sound like it. But also, if there is a non-surgery option and rehab could potentially and rest could bring something back, which happens to a lot of injuries, there's a lot of guys that are going to take that. I was not one of those guys. I want to give me surgery. Let's get me back immediately. I'd like to get back to doing what I got to do. There are some guys, though, that would do anything and everything to avoid getting cut open, getting put out, anything like that. I'm not saying Michael Thomas is like that. I'm not saying Will Lutz is like that. But the surgery conversation is one that is very situational.
Ooh.
Ain't that right, AJ?
That is very accurate.
Because situations are.
Sometimes situational.
Bingo. I mean, in the name itself, it would imply that it is always situational.
That's right.
But I don't you can't handle those types of things in a similar fashion. Lamar Jackson's talking about maybe not getting a vaccination. The governor has weighed in on that thing. There's a full conversation there. Carson Wentz and Quenton Nelson are back walking the streets of Indianapolis 1 week removed from a bone spur flake surgery that's supposed to knock him out 5 to 12 weeks. Trey Lance is going to play some time this year for the San Francisco 49ers. There's a lot to talk about in the NFL right now, AJ. It is a great time to be an NFL-based sports show. Hour 3 is going to be on the other side of this 6-minute break, AJ. What can the people look forward to listening to and maybe watching along at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show?
Well, hopefully we can jump back into the talk of Cuomo when you said, you killed me. You said, wait till he's throwing bocce balls in all 50 states. For some reason, I don't know why, I thought that was so funny.
Well, I mean, I didn't know we were going to say his name. We didn't do that the entire time.
Nope. People knew what you were saying.
The Italians, though, I mean, are getting linked to I'm not perverted, I'm Italian, eh?
Yeah.
Come on,
it's different.
That's not
Come
good.
on.
The Italians I grew up around, that is not the case. I'm not sure about all the other Italians, but Italian to Giglio, how do we feel about Italian resigning today and linking himself to all the other Italians in the whole way he did?
I just think he chose his words poorly. I understood what he was saying.
So you're on his side.
Wow. Is that what I said?
Wow.
Oh, hour 3.
I guess I shouldn't have brought it up.
Jesus.
Should we just make it real? Should we just say, hey, we're done, we're riding off into the sunset? I mean, do you want it to be live on your show that Vinny's officially done? Is that what you want?
I don't want that, but if it's going to happen, happy it's happening.
Yeah.
I would like that to be known. So don't feel obligated. Don't feel forced.
Put it this way. Hey, let me see. Today is Wednesday. By Friday, if paperwork goes in, you heard it here first.
First of all, congratulations on a legendary fucking career, dude. In a game that revolves around the score, okay? That's how they pick winners and losers, is in a game in which they keep score. To be the all-time leading scorer in scoring sport, I think many would say, hell of a fucking job. Yeah! Unbelievable. South Dakota kid, you didn't have an easy way either. You went over to Virginia to train. You're a high school teacher, I think, or a substitute teacher. Then you go to the World League over in Amsterdam. Somehow survived the off-the-field activities that you could have fallen into. Stayed focused on kicking. Go into New England. Beat out Matt Barr at some point, even though he had an incredible career. Win Super Bowls. Memorable moments. Biggest moments in the sports history revolve around your foot in a lot of cases. Congratulations, man. You're the fucking best. I was honored to be your teammate. Yeah. That opening kickoff in that Super Bowl you're referring to with the Colts, Hester takes to the crib. You having a little bit of a heart attack there?
Very bad decision, Pat, on my part. All week up in Indy, we're practicing, and we know he's their number one threat. They don't have a lot of offensive weaponry. They win with defense and special team. So for the whole week, we're in Indy. We're not going to let him touch the ball. We practice squibbing to the corners, bouncing the ball, high kick, pop-up kickoff, punt it out of bounds, everything to not let him touch the ball. We have a chapel service, and the chaplain talks about David and Goliath, and he says, hey, the reason David beat Goliath, he wasn't afraid. Everybody else was afraid. David ran right at him, threw it right between the eyes, and it was over. And I started thinking, we're acting like we're afraid of Devin Hester. I told the team on Saturday night, I hope we lose the toss. We're going to kick off. We're going to kick it right down the middle. When we pound him, they'll know we mean business. It's going to be over. We kicked it to him. 12 seconds later, he's in the other end. Sideline, he's looking at me saying, what idiot decided to kick the ball to Devin Hester? But fortunately, the last 59 minutes, the team made up for it.
Wait until they see the tone we set on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, that was it.
I bet you Vinatieri was sitting there.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
First things first, 50 yards, trash can drop into the bucket accuracy contest. Apple, set, go. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it.
All right, let's see how easy it is to catch now with the boys.
Time maybe to play down low. All right, so you can throw the shit out of it and catch it. I think the XFL ball gets a big pass. By the way, I hit some bombs with it as well.
Todd.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this amazing Tuesday, August 10th, 2021, years after zero. We'll begin right now. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. Let's get into it. Joe Buck will join us in a few moments. AJ Hawk has some news to break. Go ahead, AJ.
I do not have any news to break, but what time's Joe on? 2:30?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, 2:30 sounds right to me.
Okay. Just making sure.
Thought it was 2:05. Shit. To be clear. Then just looked down at the sheet and saw it was 2:30. He's a Hall of Famer. I'm excited to talk to him. A lot of guests today. I was supposed to have Dahlhauser. Couldn't get a hold of him. Maybe that'll happen never. But the
good run, Dahlhauser.
Man, I was excited to talk to Dahlhauser, AJ.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure. What happened to him? He fell through?
Exactly, I'm sure. This guy.
Dahlhauser. Hey, remind some of your fans, like, what he does.
Yeah, so some of the people listening, not some of the people in the conversation at all. No. Dahlhauser is beach volleyball Olympic gold medal legend, 6'10".
Thank you for letting people know.
Yeah, I'm letting people know, or maybe he was supposed to join us in the first hour. He did not. Last hour, Clyde Christensen came on, talked to us about the Hall of Fame weekend and what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are up to. It sounds like they're on. They're good. There's nothing slowing them down right now. And if this makes the Saints situation even worse, and I don't want to pile on the Saints fans because it has been very good for a long time, and I don't want to be the one that abruptly brings some negativity into their life on a daily basis, which is what seems to be happening for the Saints. But that Buccaneers team, with how content it sounds like they are, Clyde talking about how everybody just loves to practice and keep it moving. Mike Greenberg working those salary cap numbers. That team could be a dynasty type thing cooking off there. And what will the memory and legacy of Tom be then if he wins a couple down here in Tampa Bay doing it?
He's going with the Tampa helmet on. He's going to the Hall of Fame with the Tampa helmet, right? I would imagine.
I thought the whole thing is that you don't have to decide who you go in as in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you don't, right? Because Peyton didn't and right. Vinatieri won't have to. But it is the pictures that'll be used of Tom. And we just
it'll be nice to see, though. Don't you think he'll have, like, some of his family will have Patriots like hats on, some will have Bucs hats on, like they'll mix it up.
I think they'll all be coordinated on one particular team whenever the family goes in, but the ex-teammates from different teams will definitely be representing. He'll never be able to top what he did in New England for 20 years, but the next 4 to 5, there might be a chance to take a run at that entire thing, especially with how talented the defense is on that team, which Peyton gave a lot of credit to for whenever he went to Denver with how good that defense
is. My saving grace is that no matter what, I just don't see how another 28-3 Super Bowl comeback will happen ever again. And to your point about their defense, I don't think their defense will ever let up 28 points in the Super Bowl.
That defense and team is ready to go. The fact that they're just so comfortable and confident is great. Let's get back to some other news happening around the NFL. Joe Burrow has come out and said that it would be accurate to say that it is a mental thing right now. I would say right now it is a mental thing, says Joe Burrow. I'm just getting back to used to playing football again against top-level competition. Hopefully a couple more reps, a couple more days, we'll get it back to my old self. Burrow hinted that he gets a little concerned when people are getting too close in the pocket, something other quarterbacks have mentioned having to overcome when returning from knee injuries. I'm not 100% sure if it's just the pocket, maybe the presence and getting a little happy feet and worried about somebody hitting you in the knee again, but also everything it is to go all the way in full pressure, full weight, full speed, full torque. That is something that is not easy to get over the mental hurdle of, especially your first big-time surgery, whenever you got a lot of people telling you it's not going to hurt, you're not going to hurt yourself any worse, you'll be okay, you'll be back in that. That is a tough thing to do. Joe Burrow's an Ohio kid. He'll get through it, right, AJ?
Yeah, of course. And I think I mentioned this on the show a couple months ago. Like, it's when people are coming back from ACLs, especially their first ACL tear, like a huge hurdle is that mental hurdle of saying, all right, I can go all out, I can still cut, and it's not going to pop on me. And I think Joe is saying, yeah, when I'm in the pocket and there's bodies around me, it feels kind of weird. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to respond or how my knee is going to respond, but it sounds like he's going to have it all figured out here within a week or two.
And it hurts, too, by the way. Like, there's like little moments where your scar tissue catches or something happens that you haven't done before, and there's a little bit of a worry. There's a little moment where you're like, "Oh no, am I going to do this?" All that.
Or did I do it again?
Yeah.
Oh, did I just have like a slight little tear in it now? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, because after all this rehab and miserable days rehabbing, doesn't get talked about enough. Everybody just hears surgery, they got to rehab their back. Okay, let's talk about that rehab part that is just the middle of a sentence. It is fucking miserable. It is not fun. Your entire offseason is spent teaching your knee how to be a knee again. And then if you start feeling that pain again, you start to automatically think to yourself, oh no, am I going to have to go back and do it? Oh, I did all that shit for nothing. It's not an easy thing to get over. It's not an easy thing to get over. Feels like he knows that he's back on track. He might be getting a little bit more comfortable with each passing day. But for Bengals fans, let's just hope they maybe get him an indoor practice facility so his joints won't get beat up whenever it's freezing cold outside in the middle of the goddamn winter.
And obviously, Joe and Jamar have a great relationship, but do you think deep down he really wishes that the Bengals did end up taking Penny Sewell with their draft pick instead of going with a wide receiver?
How's Sewell doing up there in Detroit? Is he just mauling folks?
Mauling people. Love him.
Yeah, man.
This Penny Sewell, man, he's so tough, man. It's unbelievable. This guy loves football, man. I love him.
How many coffees do you think for Sewell out there?
At least probably 2, 3 black eyes and all 3 of them. Doosh, 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 doosh. I love it, man. We need you guys to come out and be the firewood, douse yourselves in gasoline. We're going to have fun this year, man.
Hey, I thought that was a good angle, by the way. The bonfire angle.
Yeah.
For the promo he cut. I'd never heard it before. I'd never heard that angle before. I was excited to see where he was going to get to because he did mention the beers, and the music playing, and he got through there. And then at the end, he said, we're going to start, and then you guys will throw the gasoline onto the fire. Right. That's what we need out of our pride. That's what we need out of the fans here. MCDC, every time he grabs a microphone, says something quotable, and I will forever be thankful for that. I hope the Lions win this year so we can continue to get pumped up MCDC, as opposed to the MCDC that might have to happen if they don't win, talking about what went wrong, owning it himself. This is my fault, man. This is my fault.
These guys fought so hard, man. Listen, I know we got beat by 6 touchdowns, man, but these guys, man, they love the game. And we'll get it right, man. We'll get it right.
That's good.
It is.
That's so good.
How tough is it, though? How many NFL head coaches would you feel confident giving them a mic and saying, all right, here you go. Just talk for 2 or 3 minutes to the whole stadium.
Sheila Ford Hamp. As soon as she saw that opening press conference, she said, listen, let's give this guy a microphone any fucking time we can.
Yes.
And I, for one, am very thankful about it. But Ty has really been honing in on the MCDC because I think throughout the year there's going to be a lot of moments.
I think so too.
I think so.
Hey, Ty has another new one too, doesn't he? I heard him do another. I forget who it was, but it was great.
Oh, I can't wait.
What does that mean?
No, Ty was doing someone like someone that is not like a Jay Glazer or Mel Kiper and somebody else other than MCDC. I forget, Ty. Who all do you do right now?
I don't know.
What are you alluding to, Hawk?
What are you trying to get
I'm
us
trying
into?
to figure out who the other impression was that I heard Ty do it. And I was like, geez, that's another one that he has dialed in.
I think Foxy's right. I think Sirianni was the one he did.
Yeah,
He did that yesterday. I'd never heard that one.
There's no way AJ heard that one. Didn't you just do it in? Did you do it in here? Did you
I heard
do it on
Sirianni.
I did it in here.
Is that your is Sirianni who you're referring to?
Yeah, I was Sirianni because I saw Ty talking about it, and I wanted to set Ty up with Darius Leonard because Ty was annihilating Sirianni, and Darius has backed Sirianni big time and like defended him.
Oh, see, that's a deep cut right there. I did not,
I didn't get the chance, but I was going to try to set Ty up to where Darius would get real mad at him.
Oh, so you were trying to set up Ty to potentially bury Sirianni in front of the guy eating Lunchables who just signed for $52 million?
Guaranteed, yeah, 95 overall, yep.
That's why this show is
Here we
this
go.
show. We got a guy trying to start shit from hundreds of miles away. Okay, with somebody else. Did you bury? Oh yeah, you called him. Oh yeah, that was on this show.
You killed him for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Making MCDC look like Tom Landry.
Well, I forgot about that. You did. Sirianni, did he deserve that?
It was the voice too that you did.
Oh yeah. So look at a guy like Kobayashi, okay? He breaks the hot dogs in half. He dunks them in the water that he had, and that water is room temperature. It has specific water, and what I mean by this is it's the little things. That's how we are going to win football games.
Oh yeah.
And that's basically what he said. It made absolute no sense. It's complete gibberish, but I hope the Eagles do well this year.
Didn't he say this was like, that's just one example of how we talk?
Yeah,
about
that's just one example of what we're trying to do here. Okay?
Less thinky.
Yeah, less thinky, more athlete takeover. And that's what we do.
See, I knew there was one. I really liked.
Sirianni does not deserve any of this. I completely forgot about it yesterday, man. We were on the moon yesterday.
Yeah.
We were on the moon yesterday. We had quite a day yesterday, AJ. I don't know if you knew it, trying to get out of that weekend that we all had. I completely forgot about that moment there. I'm going to let you know, when you said there at the end of that you hope the Eagles do well this year, you don't mean it. Yeah, I do hope that the Eagles
I
have
love
a good year.
Jalen Hurts.
Philadelphia does not deserve everything that has kind of happened to them.
Well, that's what I'm also very excited to see how Philly's fan base reacts to Sirianni if they were to say go 3-14 this year or 2-15.
Why do you hate the Eagles so bad?
I don't hate the Eagles. I love the Eagles.
You just think Sirianni.
I just think he is a big fucking doofus.
All right. Well, look how happy he is. Did you hear him? He said,
I hate that Sirianni has to take it, but Ty is very good at that. But a quick pivot to another question. I know you guys are big gamblers. Have the Hammer Down guys talked about betting the Bears in the preseason when you have Justin Fields as your backup and Nick Foles as your third stringer? Like, that's going to be some quality QB play in the second half.
That will be some quality QB play in the second half. But like Clyde said, in the second half, you got a lot of people that.
Yeah, but at least you know you have a guy at the helm that can make plays.
Can Nick run? Can Nick run?
No.
I'm betting on mobile quarterbacks in preseason. 10
All right,
times
Justin
out
Fields
of 10.
going to get a lot of reps, isn't he?
Is he starting these games, I assume, or are they going to let Andy Dalton get out there?
I mean, I feel like in that situation, they know kind of who Foles and Dalton are. So I would assume. And what's his name? Nagy came out this morning and said the only way we're going to find out what Fields is to play him.
Yeah, and the Dolphins aren't going to play Jacoby. I don't think he's a vet, and their third stringer is.
So what? Tua's playing? You're saying?
I don't think Tua will play either.
Bears are -3 again.
Oh, the Bears are playing the Dolphins?
Yes, that's why I said that.
Okay. So everybody should have known that. I should have known that, of course. That is 100% my fault. But Fields, he's probably going to – he moves, right? Great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fields moves great.
I just read something that he will be playing a lot on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, so – and I might be wrong here. We'll test this out. I will listen to the Hammer Down Boys as we go through preseason. I assume you guys will have to find the wave to a preseason. That's what the Hammer Down Boys do, by the way. They dig deep into the sports book to find the right things we can safely bet on and things we don't know. Preseason is quite a gamble, but I'm always going to look at the mobile quarterback because when inevitably the wide receiver has no idea where they're supposed to go. And when the offensive line blocks somebody they're not supposed to block and somebody comes free and a running back potentially goes the complete wrong direction, if the player can move, that's going to help their offense immensely, and that happens more often than not in these first couple games. So if Justin Fields is going to play a lot, we should feel good. And then Nick Foles is going to come in at the end and maybe slice and dice these third stringers.
Yeah.
Bears might win by 60. That's a great call, AJ.
I started thinking about that, just thinking of like QB play in the preseason, and you're going to see a lot of like bland defensive schemes that just say it's like an unwritten rule. When I was in Cincinnati, I blitzed on the very first. So I was in Cincy, first play of the game. We practiced with the Giants 2 days. Very first play of the game, I was walked out on a slot. He motions over. In my brain, in the defense, I'm like, I get to blitz now off the edge. Just the check. So I blitz off the edge. The quarterback, I think, just has to throw it in the ground or something because I come free. And my linebacker coach and I got off the field. He was like, man, what the hell happened? And he said their coaches started saying something to him because they're like, you're blitzing us on the first play? We got a free runner. Like, we don't do that. That's not what we're doing here. And he had to tell him, hey, listen, his first snap ever here in Cincy. He didn't know exactly what he was doing. He got excited.
He got a little excited. He saw, okay, football tells me I should go. Mm-hmm. We didn't tell him about the agreement we made, which does happen, which is why I was so surprised that the Cowboys ran a blitz against Dwayne Haskins. Did you see that? I was mind blown because that never happens, right? To your point, there's normally a complete agreement between both coaches before the game gets started, right? What you're allowed to show, what you're not allowed to show, what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. It happens in special teams. Does it happen everywhere else? Obviously, you don't get the message, especially in Cincinnati, but that was surprising to me when they ran a pressure against Dwayne Haskins.
Well, was it third down?
I don't remember. Maybe it might have been second.
Yeah,
it's not that you can't blitz. It's just like, especially early on and stuff, you're not showing your exotic blitzes or anything, but there's also things that look like blitzes. If you're playing man and a guy hugs the back, green dog, whatever they call it, it looks like a blitz because your back is blocking. I have him. I'm just going to wrap it right to the quarterback.
Okay, so you're saying it might not look like they're bringing extra guys. It might just be a read by said player who says, okay, I know the back has me. The back's not moving. I'm here. I might as well go for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a term like, hey, you got a dead dog, green dog. There's all different terms for it. Hug him. So, hey, okay, I have the back. If wherever he goes, I have him. If he steps up in the line to the block, I'm going to blitz over top of him. I'm going to try to run through him to the quarterback.
Dead dog or green dog?
Green dog a lot, people.
Were you a green dog out there? You were a green dog whenever they motioned in and you kind of called your own number there. You were a green dog in it, weren't you? You son of a bitch.
Hell yeah. I think we just said we'd hug the back.
Oh, who's green dogging then? Who said green dog?
Just depends what scheme you're in. Some schemes say green dog.
Is Mike McCarthy?
Everyone has their own language.
Mike McCarthy, big green dog scheme guy down there on the defensive side of the ball?
I don't know. He didn't do a whole lot with the defense when I was in Green Bay, but he's probably a green dog guy.
Dom Capers a green dog guy.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Yeah, Dom doesn't care. As long as you get the job done, you can call it whatever you want.
Find out about Big Night.
Well, who's calling it green dog then?
I mean, a lot of people. A lot of schemes. I'm not going to tell you specific people. I don't know exact what system it came from, who came up with the term years ago.
Well, who's saying green dog, by the way? That's just something that's understood that, hey, if this happens, you green dog this thing. You go.
Yeah, it means you blitz over top of your guy.
Is it dog D-A-W-G too? Huh? Yeah, like dog, like that kid.
Yeah.
Dog.
D-A-W-W-G usually. Yeah.
Dog. Green dog.
Dog. Yep.
You bark when you blitz?
I'll tell you what, if I was on defense, I'd want to green dog it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's like dream come true when you get a chance to green dog.
Yeah.
Ain't that right?
Yeah, you just better make sure he's not leaking out for a screen.
Oh, no, because then green dog becomes red dog.
That's why you got to take him with you. If you're
Brown
dog. You got
dog.
to take your coverage with you.
Start pooping all over the place, yeah. All right. I learned more about football from talking to you in a couple minutes than I have in my entire life. I really appreciate that. I did not know that we had green dogs out there running around making plays.
I've learned a lot more about the kicking and punting game from you that I never even thought of when I was playing.
Look at that. Maybe could have been a better teammate to all your punter friends.
I was always there. I was always there in the special teams meetings. I just your little tricks and intricacies. I knew somewhat, but I didn't know how much it was on the snapper to get the laces right. I knew we were hoping to get it right from the snapper, but I always thought, no, it's the holder's job really to spin it if we need to.
It is, by the way, but the snapper is specifically judged on the laces. It has to go from 9 to 3 is where you're looking for it to get, which means laces, if you look at a clock, and 12 being through the uprights, 9 AM or PM straight ahead, 3 straight back at the holder. The laces are just trying to land in there. That would be a successful snap. And some of them are making $1 million a year, by the way, and that is how they are judged on the field.
And they should get paid great money. That's a huge part of the game that nobody talks about unless you mess it up.
And a lot of the guys that are making $1 million are machines. They get down there, and it is the same snap every single time. That is what they're judged off of and paid off of. In college, I don't think there's as much of a demand or expectation. But in the NFL, now that it has become its own position, it is no longer a tight end, defensive end, whoever, linebacker snapping, and also playing their other position. Now that it is its own position, it gets paid a lot of money, and they do a great job and are a massive part of everything. That is how they get judged. And every once in a while, I have somebody tell me, hey, you're wrong. I mean, whoa. It's like, all right. Go back to Matt Overton and ask him if he got blamed for the laces or not. He very rarely had a miss. That's why he was around for so long. But when he did, that was like he hung his head. Like it was like you know what I mean? Like that's a big deal.
Didn't do my job.
Miss kick.
Were you a backup long snapper?
No, I was never a long snapper, actually.
5th overall pick. With how athletic you are at linebacker position, you would normally get asked to, hey, let's see if this guy can throw a ball between his legs upside down quarterback or not.
I mean, there's that one game where he didn't play against the Eagles, requested a trade right after.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Fine, put Hawk out there. He can play. Let him run.
If you don't think I can play against a spread offense, what do you even have me here for?
What's the point? I was a 5th overall pick. Put me on the fucking field. I'll make plays.
I ran a 4-3. You remember that?
Yeah.
What do we do? You're subbing me out for somebody that's slower than me, dumber than me, and worse than me? Okay. Well, I'd like to get the fuck out of here.
Trade me.
No, I didn't say that.
That's not what I heard.
No,
I don't know what you heard, but yeah.
Other people said it for AJ, by the way. I think is kind of the. Are we serious? We're not playing this guy? Why aren't we playing? He's our fastest guy.
Pistol from the sidelines.
Oh, pistol!
Put my fucking son! Over and over again.
Was it in Philly or
never happened?
Was it in Philly or was it in Green Bay that game?
That game was in Philly.
Okay, so imagine if it was at Green Bay and he had to just wear a hoodie and stand on the sideline in Green Bay in front of all those Packers fans.
Oh, the hair, too.
And everybody in the fans, why is AJ not playing? What the hell? That guy's like that's one of our franchise players. Why is he not on the field?
Let the fucking hawk fly.
Mm-hmm. That bird's too slow, they said. Can't keep up with the eagle.
Signed
that was back when Marshawn was on the Bills then. Like, people forget his career with the Bills.
Hey, I don't. You ever seen the clip of him kind of becoming one with Buffalo and going to the Applebee's?
Yes, the best.
And he's the best. He is the absolute best. Big Ben had to talk about his. All right, let's start that over again. We can't begin it with an from Toxic, Ohio. Big Ben Roethlisberger has addressed his off season, okay, and everything that he has potentially changed or not changed. The big conversation coming out of Ben's camp allegedly was that he has a stricter diet than Tom Brady. Then mixed reports were coming out after the first day of camp when he wore a shirt that said different, and then people said he hasn't really changed much, but he is in better shape. Now, Mark Mask is reporting from their story, and their story is one that you need to read.
Have to.
From our story, says Mark Mask, Ben Roethlisberger on showing up to camp looking trim and fit. I'm not getting any younger. I'm almost 40 years old, so you got to take care of yourself. And nothing against Tom Brady, but I'm not eating avocado ice cream. So the initial report that Ben was eating healthier than Tom Brady, so much so he was so strict on his diet, he was going to be a brand new guy. Now he's getting older. It turns out that was a big fugazi, but Ben Roethlisberger is looking out for his health now that he's almost 40. That's good news for everybody, especially in Yinzer Steeler Nation.
Does anybody see Ben playing past this season?
Art Rooney, the second. There was one beforehand. Rest in peace.
Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
You kind of spit on a moment of silence for him.
Oh, I didn't know we were having a moment of silence. We didn't say.
I know, but it just kind of was assumed, I think.
Piece of shit.
He did say thank you, though. So,
yeah.
I mean, it was.
What the hell? I guess you know what?
Don't.
Don't you dare.
Don't do it.
Oh my God!
What were you gonna say?
Oh
no.
Anyways, our ruling second though said it's not set in stone that Ben is done after this year is what he said. So he kind of left the door open. If Ben can continue to play at a high level, especially 1 year removed from the Tommy John surgery, I'd assume Pittsburgh would want him back, especially this being the first year in the Matt Canada offense, maybe to get him a little bit more comfortable. Would you guys like to see Ben Roethlisberger another couple years in Pittsburgh as Steelers fans at COVID Cowboy Tone Diggs?
Ben's got a lifelong pass for me. He can play as long as he wants. And you know what? Congrats to him on reading the room. Hey, Yinzer's like that I'm taking care of my body, but they don't like avocado ice cream, so I ain't doing that.
Yeah, there was no avocado ice cream is what Ben Roethlisberger's saying. I ain't doing any of that. It's the same old Ben, don't you worry. But what if he comes out and fucking stinks? Have we thought about that? He's not going to. By the way, Ben is a good quarterback, great quarterback, going to end up in the Hall of Fame. He'll be able to figure out how to make plays, I think. But there were some games last year where that offense looked despicable. And I know Randy Hazard is gone or whatever, but the thought of Ben maybe having a rebirth this year, that's the kind of the thought in Matt Canada's offense, especially with the jet sweeps and everything.
Yeah, just like Tom stunk with the Patriots the last year that he was there, and then he was great and won the Super Bowl. That's what happened with Ben.
Same building though.
What do you mean?
Tom left, goes to a new place.
Different OC.
Different offense coordinator from the same though, isn't he? From the he's not from within.
His first year there was last year, so Tampa fucking Connor doesn't know.
Hey, don't forget, every time you hear that, you did that.
No, I didn't. I'm apologizing.
Yeah, you did.
I apologize. I apologize already.
BR McAfee. That's what I'm gonna start calling you. Because you're causing this guy, everyone who I know probably.
What are you pointing at me for? I haven't said it once.
I haven't called you that.
I haven't either. I've stopped saying that.
I wasn't.
I
apologize.
You walked all the way up to it, and then right when you were about to say it, you said, "You know what? I'll let someone else do."
No.
Yeah. And then 3 callers in a row.
I mean, what's wrong with being lumped in with greatness?
Well, the issue is for Connor, Matt Damon amongst other reasons, but also other
You can't be saying Matt Damon's name.
Other Boston legends and icons that started supporting Tom Brady over the Patriots really ruffled his feathers. I mean, he was so mad.
That's bullshit.
And me and Ty had to do a full didn't he want to see Tom win a Super Bowl last year as Tampa? It made us think that. So I don't think he has gone to the extent of ever saying that he hopes Tampa would beat New England. He's never said that.
No.
But the Tampa comment.
The only thing I said last year was Brady can't win a Super Bowl because of the Peyton Manning effect that happened with Indy.
Is your microphone off, by the way?
I hope. Probably.
I think it is.
Tampa's nice, pal. You're going to love it.
That is not comfy. That is not comfy.
Ballets are awesome.
Oh, don't drag me into that.
That is not comfy, by the way. That was a deep fake back there. I don't know. Let's get to a break, and then we got Joe Buck on the other side. I can't wait to hear this conversation with Joe Buck. Just went into the Hall of Fame, I think, either last year or this year. Absolutely worthy. Can't wait to hear what his thoughts are on the entire weekend and everything that was the Hall of Fame weekend and the season coming up. He and Troy, in my eyes, the booth, personally, in the NFL. You agree? Do you concur?
I do concur.
There's people that don't.
Yep.
They are wrong.
There's people that hate this guy that's about to join us in 4 minutes.
Come on.
Every time he's talked to us, he's been really cool, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. I think the majority of people that know Joe like Joe a lot.
Love Joe. Can't wait to chat with Joe in 4 minutes. If you don't like Joe, let's go ahead and open our minds and maybe allow this conversation that's about to happen to penetrate your ear holes and maybe get a reassessment on this guy who has maybe had to call an unfortunate timed event with your favorite team because of how good he is at calling stuff. Joe Bucks in 4 minutes. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Zito's shaking his head. I don't think the comments are listening.
Yeah, they're not happy.
Joe Bucks in 4 minutes. We're going to turn this whole thing around with Joe Buck, I hope. He deserves it. See you in 4.
Say football for me.
Football. Football.
Football.
Football.
Football.
Football. Football.
Football. Football.
I play football. I play football. I play football. I play football. I was told by Del Curry, Scottie Pippen struggles on a golf course, right?
Right.
I was told at that thing that I'm going against Scottie Pippen the next day, match play, heads up, one-on-one Scottie Pippen. So we decide, like, okay, we can probably have a couple drinks, stay at the casino a little bit longer than we should.
Representing the NFL out of the Shoeless Golf Club of America, Pat McAfee. His opponent, representing the NBA, Scottie Pippen.
You know what I mean? This guy's got 6 rings. Yeah. He's a fucking Hall of Famer. But today he's going to play against me. And then I start seeing Scottie hit some shots that are just like starting to come together. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I think I was lied to.
We were lied to yesterday. We were told Scottie Pippen was a terrible golfer. Bro, he's Scottie fucking Pippen.
Going in the back 9, I think I was down 1. Like, we were battling. But I started making putts. And Scottie Pippen went ahead and got real hot. I mean, real fucking hot. I was down 3 with 7 left. And I looked right in the camera, and I go,
So we're down 3 with like 7 holes left. Scottie Pippen's about to get this work.
Scottie Pippen from 190 yards out just fucking dunks it. Fucking boom, bang, and then walks up to the green, gets the ball, cameras on him, and he goes, Pippen ain't easy.
Kidding me. All right, down 4 with 6 left after Scottie Pippen just chips in from fucking 400 yards out.
I was fucking demoralized.
Pippen ain't easy.
By the way, best he's ever performed at golf, because I'm around, better teammate than Jordan.
Yep.
People forget. Oh, yeah, I told Del, I was like, Del, what the fuck you lying to me? He was like, well, I saw it yesterday. He was not great. And Greg Anthony told me, and I was like, Del, he buried me, Del Curry. He buried me. He was like, hey, Pippen ain't easy.
Yes, baby, it's time to celebrate.
Talking about a shotgun of beer after he had beat me, obviously. I like teach him how to do it.
Yeah, put a hole in there. It might spread a little bit, so.
Yeah,
Yes, you're going to go here, and then you're going to open and flip up. Does that make sense? Congrats on winning the NBA a couple times, blah, 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 blah. And being an incredible golfer. Right, well, cheers, man. Hey.
Damn.
Okay,
That's the
Scottie.
best Bud Light I ever had.
Hey, there's no Scott King up here.
You're right.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime on the Pat McAfee Show.
Welcome back to that show here on hour 3 of Tuesday, August 10th edition of this show. It's on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio, and at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. AJ Hawk joining us from an attic in Ohio. The Hammer Down Boys are joining us 15 minutes after this show ends. They'll go live at youtube.com/Hammer Down and give out great picks for us all to make an immense amount of cash off of. Hell yeah! Thank you, guys. I believe joining us here in a couple moments, if not right now, is a man who is forever immortalized in the NFL Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, for how damn good he is at covering the incredible NFL product. You've heard his voice over the biggest moments in sports history. He's the winner of the Pete Rozelle Award, inducted into the Hall of Fame, broadcasting legend, has been doing this thing since he was 24 years old. I'm sorry to say that he's probably called great moments for your favorite team and also your team's least favorite moments. Sometimes he gets associated with that when I don't think it's fair. He and Troy are the best booth in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Buck. Hey, you look good. Can you hear me? Yeah, you look good too, like really good. Good lighting, good audio. I mean, this is a good day, Joe Buck.
Look at you.
Huh?
But not a lot of people can pull that tank top off, and please don't pull that tank top off. But you look fantastic.
Hey, I appreciate that. This is a Massimo. He's currently in jail because he took photos of his kids playing water polo, and then they got into school for it. You know?
I'm friends with Massimo, and not ashamed to admit it. You got G4 on you right there, or is it just Massimo? It's old school Massimo.
This is old school Massimo out of Target. Are you really friends with that guy? Because he changed my life. He changed my life completely. I would go on trips. I'd go to Target, buy everything he had, and then I'd go home and do the same. And now he's gone forever. What the hell happened?
Groundbreaking information about to come your way. My daughter and his daughter were roommates their freshman year at USC when all that stuff went down. Nobody has ever asked me about that.
Quick question, Joe. What were the photos like for your daughter?
My kid?
Yeah.
My daughter? Yeah, she's currently listed as third on the depth chart at middle linebacker. She's gonna earn her way to the second team. There's no doubt in my mind.
All right. Well, congrats on that. I mean, people say whenever she puts a helmet on, she becomes a completely different person out there.
Different kid. Totally different kid.
Please tell Massimo to get back into the tank top game, though. I miss him. Hope everything ends up all right, and this is one just hurdle of adversity.
Now it's behind him. He's paid his debt to society and will continue to pay his debt to society financially. But he went in for, 5-6 months, something like that, maybe more. And, he paid his price.
All right. Hey, Joe, of course you're connected to the greatest tank top maker in history, in Massimo. You've been around and at this for so long, at such a high level, in front of the entire world. I think watching back through the announcement of you winning the Pete Rozelle Award, and from the age of 24, the youngest broadcaster to ever be given a full NFL slate, you've been there, done that with everything at this point. When you look back on your career, is there anything that sticks out as like very cool, or is the Hall of Fame obviously at the top of that thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not downplaying it, the Hall of Fame, but it's an award. It's an award coming from the Hall of Fame. And not to name drop, but when we did that game and David Baker came on and said, you're going to be the recipient of the Pete Rozelle Award, I got a text from Marcus Allen like, hey, congrats, brother. I'm so glad you're in the Hall of Fame. I'm like, no, you're in the Hall of Fame. I'm in the hallway to the Hall of Fame. We're all good. And I couldn't be more honored. I think the coolest part of it is that my dad got that award back in '96. My mom is still here and, was touched and emotional about, me getting the award that her late husband, my dad, my best friend got in '96. So that part of it is so cool. But now having 25 and 22-year-old daughters, to think that I was doing this stuff back then when I was that age, back then it felt normal. Now as a 52-year-old, I'm like, how in the hell did I get through that and kind of fake my way through it until I figured it out? But I did, and I'm still sitting here.
Joe, you've been doing this forever. You're still young. You started so early. I feel like we've been watching you forever. Are you like Tom Brady? Do you feel like you can just do this forever and continue to go?
You know what's funny, AJ, is I still look, because when I started, I was in the minor leagues at 19 and 20, and I was doing big league baseball at 21, my early 20s. I still have the same mentality that the athletes that I'm covering are older than I am. And I'm 52, and I'm no older than a lot of coaches in the NFL, but I look at your buddy Aaron Rodgers, and I think, that guy's my contemporary or older than me. Or I look at Brady, and he damn near is older than me, and he's still doing it. So I do feel like I could do this for a long time as long as I stay healthy, and that's a big knock on wood. But I don't know. My clock started early, so I think my clock will end earlier than most in this profession.
I doubt it, because you'll disappear and they'll put some other schmuck in there who's terrible, and they'll be like, Joe, please come back, and they'll give you a shit ton of money. I mean, that's just how it's going to be. Joe. That's just how it's going to go. I mean, we've all seen it before, but I want to talk about you and Troy, because you and Troy have been together for 20 some years. Is that right? Did I get 20 years? You two, in my eyes, now obviously there's people that are closer with other booths for whatever reason. You two are the best booth in the NFL, though. And I think over the last year or two has maybe been your guys' best work. And in the Hall of Fame game, I think you guys crushed it. And Troy has been a massive part of that, obviously, with how talented he is, how relatable he is. But I think in the last couple of years, have you guys turned off the, feels like there's a lot more fuck it while calling that, whether it's a ref making a mistake. It's like, hey, we can point this out now. The viewers are seeing this. We have at least enough clout now we can do that. Is that something you feel and have noticed, or am I just misreading an entire situation there?
No, I think there's a lot of truth to that. You know, I went through a vocal cord thing back in 2011, and when I came back, I did say fuck it. And I think, you know, to a certain extent with Troy and me, 20 years is a long time. And I can honestly look into this camera on my desktop and say he and I have never had one argument in 20 years. We have a lot of respect for each other. I think he was more excited about me getting the Pete Rozelle Award than I was, and that's saying a lot. And that's just the way we are. And so when you do this job and you do it with as many people firing at you as we get every week, you better know that the guy standing next to you's got your back. And he knows that I've got his, and vice versa. And so when you launch into that, you know, there's no hiding it. You either really like each other, or I think people can see the fractures in there. And we really like each other. We're good buddies. We hang out. We talk during the off season. We want to be around each other. And that's not always the case. So, yeah, we've had more fun. And I tell him all the time, I don't know anybody in any booth that has more clout, having won 3 Super Bowls, being in the Hall of Fame, accomplishing what he's accomplished. And he's earned the right to say, hey, you don't like what I say, you don't like my opinion, too bad. I've worked hard to develop this opinion, and take it or leave it.
Hey, Joe, when you're in these production meetings before, like the day or so before the game, say you're gonna work a game, you sit down, you meet with a head coach and maybe some other coaches, and then a handful of players. Do you have any that are some of your favorite that you've covered over the years? Doesn't even have to be current players or coaches.
And worst.
Yeah.
Worse for sure too.
You know who was terrible, and I know that this is not going to surprise anybody, but back in the day when we first started, and we haven't done a ton of Patriots games, but Bill Belichick didn't tell us anything. I mean, he was as tight-lipped as anybody. He's exactly like you see him in the press conferences. And you know what? Whether it's a head coach or it's a player, that's their prerogative. If they want to reveal stuff, great. Some people like to play us to try to get a message across, or they try to get favors with us. And I kind of admire the guys that just are like, nah, I'm not going to tell them anything that I don't want out there. But that relationship evolved over time, and we've done Super Bowls now where Bill's unbelievable. Like he's so good with Troy, and will be so open about what they're doing that it's gone 180 degrees the other way. It's the guys that you think would be terrible that were great, like Tom Coughlin, who was kind of known, you know, Camp Coughlin and Be Early and all that stuff. He was phenomenal, because I think he looked at Troy and was like, if I can't trust this guy, I can't trust anybody. And I think once you've done it long enough and you've developed that trust, I mean, both quarterbacks that I've sat with in AJ's old building at Lambeau, Favre, you had to kick out of the meeting because he wouldn't stop talking, and Aaron's that way too. If he has something he wants to get off his chest, it's kind of like therapy for some of these guys. So I would say the list of who's no good is I can't even think of who's no good. It's gotten it's become fun, I think, for us to get to know these guys.
Joe, this is fascinating because every broadcaster wants to get to the NFL and then get to the level that you are at. And every younger broadcaster, commentator that you talk to, you know, they have to go through these small colleges with these schools that have 110 people on it, and it's very difficult. These games, you have no idea who anybody is. They're not playing for anything, but you got to broadcast it. Once you guys get to the NFL, and you get to the NFL with Troy for 20 plus years or whatever, every single week, you guys kind of know what's going on, but is it just you have to deliver every single week because all the eyes are on you, or what is your mindset each week? Like, because you pretty much know every player and every story, right? We all do. The NFL is kind of everywhere. What is your big thought going into games?
Yeah, no, you're right. And I tell that all the time to young broadcasters, like doing single A baseball or doing small college football, or heck, high school football. It's harder to do that than it is to do, whatever, a Packers-Bears game, because people know who they are. You know who 12 is and who 80 is and who the left tackle is. And I mean, it's that part of it's kind of a given. So you know all that. You know the names, numbers, you know the stories, basically. But yeah, it's being on point, being current with the action, being on top of it. And then I think Troy seeing things that the average person doesn't see, or how is he looking at a game as a quarterback? What's he keying on a certain play? And where does he think the ball's going? I mean, Romo's been fantastic with that. And he's kind of made this cottage industry of, I'm going to be the predictor of everything that's coming along. I think you can look at it a lot of different ways. You can attack it a lot of different ways. And what I like about Troy is he's been there, he's done it, and when he says it, it carries a lot of weight. And so he picks his spots, but I think he's been more critical, maybe to go back to what you said earlier, Pat. I think he's been more critical when necessary over the last handful of years than he was certainly 10, 15 years ago when we were first starting out in this business.
I love it, by the way. I love Troy. I just think he's such a cool dude whenever he's calling it. I think your guys' booth just radiates like just a cool group of dudes to watch a football game with. I think like that is what a commentator's doing. You're trying to incite, entertain, and inform, but also you're setting the environment for watching the game, and the way you guys do it is great. Do you ever get into the booth? You know, like I'm doing Friday Night SmackDown, obviously, on Fox.
No, and you're fantastic at it. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's great to be a small part of the Fox family. Okay, it does feel good to be a small part.
Lucky to have you.
Yeah, I didn't say that for you to say that, by the way, but it is great to be a small part of it. But there'll be a couple times going into the show where I've done this show during the day. I traveled in there, and I'm just like, all right, I need some juice or something, kind of a quick reminder. Do you ever do you do coffee, energy drinks? Do you do any other things before you get into the right frame of mind to call a game, or is at this point just so routine?
No, it's never routine. And I live on coffee. I remember one time I was in a break during a game at Giant Stadium, and I said on the microphone, but we were off the air, how many cups of coffee can you have before it becomes dangerous to your health? And I got a text from a guy back at Fox News who was watching, like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but we can hear you back here. And the answer is like 8. I'd gotten past 8 a long time before that. I got into a lot of trouble about a year or so ago during the pandemic when I'd said this on Howard Stern when I was on Howard Stern's show, I used to, like I would say 2015 and really 2014 and 15, I would send the runner out to get the biggest beer in the stadium, and I would have the beer sitting there as like a visual cue to just chill. So yes, I drink a lot of coffee, but no, it's never just routine. No, I'm never just mailing it in. I care a lot more than anybody has any idea. And sometimes when it gets a little intense or I'm a little tight, I'll look at that beer, I'll take a baby sip of it and go, we're just doing a game. Have fun, relax. And I would suggest that to anybody. Like, have whatever you need to have around you to kind of pop that bubble of intensity and let yourself relax. And it's something that I did then. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm not saying I won't go back to it, because when I feel run down and I feel like, oh my God, this is a big game. That's when you got to just remind yourself you're just doing a sporting event and you better treat it appropriately.
And what about for Jeopardy? I believe the episodes that you hosted are this week. Did you bring a beer bong in there or something?
Yeah, they have them just laying around on the set. No, I mean, yeah, that was intense. That was different than anything I've ever done. And, you know, to walk out on that stage and make it feel like it's your show, even though it's not, it's the furthest thing from it, took a lot of acting. And I got out there and the nerves were bouncing around, but I saw episode 1 yesterday on Monday. I did it like 4 months ago, so I didn't remember, you know, the specifics of the show. And so watching it after that much time had elapsed, I was able to kind of sit back and enjoy it and go, okay, it looks normal. It doesn't look like I'm out of my depth. And that's really, I tried to have some fun with it, which I do during the course of the week. I tried to throw in a couple of lines here and there. And that's how I wanted to do it. I was like, I'm only going to do this for a week. So if that's the case, then go do it how you want to do it. And I'm really happy with the way it came out. But trust me, guys, I was nervous going in.
Well, you're a great actor. Maybe you're a thespian. You don't even know it because I watched last night. I'm a big Jeopardy guy. I watched last night. I thought you crushed it. I thought you did really well.
Yeah, I just wanted it to look like I'd been there before, and I hadn't. And I am a Jeopardy fan. I'm somebody that watches the show if I come across it, but I don't like being reminded how dumb I am. I don't like when they get past like the $200 clue and I'm completely lost. So I'll watch for a while and then I'll flip it on to something else. And then when you're going to host it, then you've got to start watching it differently. You've got to watch, how do they go to break? What are the segments about? How do you get into the segment? How do you come out of it? What's Final Jeopardy? What are the mechanics of that? We all know what happens in Final Jeopardy, but getting it in chronological order and doing it in a way that the hardcore Jeopardy fans want it done, it took some effort, and that was the biggest challenge of all of it. So I'm just glad the way it turned out, and I feel like I represented myself well.
Well, not only yourself, you're representing the sports stooge as well. You and Aaron both. I appreciate it because that's the nerd Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, that's the nerd Super Bowl. Sports people are dumb. We get thrown in there. You, Aaron, crush it. We appreciate it, Joe. Want to let you know that. We really appreciate it.
Carrying the banner for all of us, mildly not that smart guys.
Bingo.
I was a solid B- student. A lot of that, I like to tell myself, was because I didn't try so hard. And I put everything in perspective back when I was 15, 16, 17 years old. Truth of the matter is I'm just not that smart.
Yeah.
And to be able to host that show and make it, but I've got all the answers. I've got everything in front of me. So my mind works in a certain way where I could pull that off. But if I was on the other side of the stage, it would have been ugly.
Yeah, me too. I'm a Wheel of Fortune guy myself, if I was to be a participant. But I'll watch our super nerds battle for who's smarter on Jeopardy every single night. Go ahead, Ty.
Joe, because you have done, the biggest game in every sport, and you just said, that you still take it very serious, do you still get excited for stuff? Like, for example, I think you're doing the Field of Dreams game on Thursday. Like, will you get excited for that, or is that just like a business as usual, another day at the office?
I cannot tell you how excited I am, and I'm getting more so every day, because I just got the pictures today of what it looks like. And if you can't get excited for a real game of the Yankees, who are needing every win they can get right now, against a really good White Sox team, playing in the middle of a cornfield, and it matters, then something's wrong. I think this is one of the coolest things. In some regard, I think it's kind of been undersold to this point. And when it comes up on people's TVs on Thursday, they're going to go, what the hell? Because I've got friends of mine that are big sports fans. They're like, hey, what are you doing this week? Oh, I'm going to Iowa for that Field of Dreams game. What's that? And then I explain it to them, and they're like, wait, what? And I just think the momentum will build. And when people see this thing on TV, I think it's going to be beautiful, and it highlights all the romantic parts of the game. I think it's going to be a really fun night.
Joe, we can't thank you enough for joining us. I know that you're a busy man calling every big moment in the history of anything that's big. Thank you for stopping by and chatting with us, and congrats on the hallway to the Hall of Fame nod that you so much deserve.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Anytime, as you know. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're a good guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Buck. He's the best, dude.
Yeah, good guy.
Joe Buck. Been there, done that with everything.
You see those sports Emmys over his shoulder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of them. There was a lot of them.
Couple rows.
Full bookcase.
I had to shut the computer.
Yeah, they are.
It was getting that bad, huh?
I went in there.
It was ruthless.
I went in there and tried to defend him.
What is it?
They ran Tony out.
People do not want to hear it about Joe Buck. If they don't like Joe Buck, they're cemented in that. There's a lot of people that like Joe Buck in there. We have to say that. But it does seem like the haters do get loud. And for that, I would never understand, because Joe has committed a lot of his life for our sports entertainment. So I appreciate that immensely. AJ, as this show wraps up here on Sirius XM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio, what is something we haven't covered that you would like to talk about?
Well, going back to Joe Buck, I was completely unaware of this Field of Dreams game as well. So it'll be on Fox on Thursday night, right?
Yeah, and it looks awesome, by the way. They're putting out some images and some pictures. It looks legit like a real field as opposed to like a Little League
tune in.
Yeah, it's going to be great, I think, right?
Yeah, there's, I think, 8,500 people are going to be there. It was like fucking impossible to get tickets to it. And I also saw Guy Fieri's trying to fucking take the whole thing down by doing a hot dog wrapped in an apple pie. Hopefully in Iowa, and there smacks him in the mouth. That's not what we're here for.
He says the most American thing you can get is an American pie wrapped around a hot dog.
Yeah, it looks like he fucking, ate a ballpark Frank and took a shit in the toilet.
Not surprised he's spitting in America's face like he's.
What is the deal?
Poked his head at the Hall of Fame this weekend. I mean, give it a rest, dude.
Bro, Guy Fieri did not know he was.
It's not about you, Guy.
He got invited because one of his best friends was going in.
Yeah, sure.
Can we relax? Guy Fieri told me he was going to make me famous. Okay? He's a good guy.
Gangster.
Anyways, I'd eat the hell out of it. If that's going to show up in his, I can get him on DoorDash. His
No. It's only available here.
Is that a McDonald's apple pie with a hot dog shoved down the middle of it?
It looks like it, but I did watch him make it. He actually, cranks it himself. He's like, I'm so gangster.
What's on top?
It's bacon jam and donkey sauce, I believe.
Hell yeah. What's in donkey sauce?
Dude.
Oh, the best.
You know what's in donkey sauce.
Come on. I would like to go on the record as saying, I would love to try one of these things.
Oh, so would I.
You just said it looked like he shit out something.
Well, it does look like that. I'd still try it. And like I said,
those aren't Mark Mangino mud pies.
Come on. All right. There'll be a 6-minute break, and then Chris Mad Dog. Huh?
No way that's true about Mangino.
All right, we don't have time.
It is.
We don't have time. We don't have time, Ty. Relax.
Seriously, some Iowan in Dyersville, make sure you smack Guy Fieri in the mouth if you see him.
Do not do that. I like Guy too. Thank you so much. 20 seconds until a 6-minute break before Chris Mad Dog Russo as Mad Dog Radio.
Hell yeah.
Mad Dog Unleashed will come. His show's better than ours. AJ, anything to say to the listeners on Sirius?
Hey, congrats to Guy for all the great work he's getting.
Thank you to Guy Fieri for all of his sacrifices for our world. Chris Mad Dog Russo next. Jesus Christ. Guy Fieri, dude.
In the meantime.
Legit. And Mangino gets another one. I thought his day had passed.
It doesn't matter. There's no way it's in the shower.
He did. Listen, AJ.
Who mushes? You can't.
Welcome to PMS After Hours.
Hold on. What poor soul is mushing his turds through the drain?
You think he was doing it?
We don't care. I don't care. All right?
I don't either, but it just doesn't make sense. I like to be accurate.
He was bringing in some fucking poor GA to get rid of it when he was done. Probably have him wipe his ass, too.
Oh.
Jesus. What is your problem?
There was a reported ass wiper as well.
What is everybody's deal?
Come on.
Why is this happening?
I'm just reporting facts. This is a true fact.
Yeah, Guy Fieri, though. Yeah, but we're leaving out something, I assume, in this Mangino story. There's something that we're missing.
I just didn't like the Guy Fieri. I mean, it's only available at this game, so we can't even try it. So once
exclusive.
Again, no.
It's Iowa, dude.
Because he also said, this might not be our last game with this thing.
So Guy Fieri's scheduling more.
That's good.
Field of Dreams baseball games for the MLB. Okay. Rob Manfred and Guy Fieri are sitting down around an apple pie hot dog and saying, you know what? Let's run this son bitch back.
It certainly looks like it. And like I said, the guys double fisting bacon jam and donkey sauce, squirting them down his gullet. It's like, easy, dude.
All right.
He's taking us to the cleaners and ghost kitchens while he's at it.
All right, those ghost kitchens are unbelievable. They did make me shit my pants heavily, but there's a couple things he has on that DoorDash menu that are to shit for, and you will.
Oh, the cheesesteak egg rolls.
Unbelievable.
Delicious. I will.
If you got any,
Guy has his own DoorDash.
If you got any money
so
left
good.
after.
Now, they are expensive, but you're
will
paying,
gouge you.
Yeah, and you will shit it out soon afterwards,
Right.
But the moment it goes onto your palate, you're like, Guy Fieri knows his stuff.
Get it.
Use shredded lettuce for the sandwiches. I already have massive amount of respect for that. I'm a big Guy Fieri guy, but boy, I did not know he was going to get buried at the end of the show there.
At all.
Is Guy the only guy to spit in your face and then you not hold a grudge for the rest of eternity?
He didn't spit in my face. He told me he was going to make me famous while shooting his cell phone at me with a flash on. I said, thanks, Guy.
See you later.
Took a while. I mean, I'm not there yet, but I'm still holding on hope.
I still support Guy.
Doesn't sound like it at all, by the way.
Didn't he opened a restaurant in Times Square, I believe, right?
It's probably great.
I'm sure it's great.
What's it called?
Like Guy's American BBQ?
I think it is called that, and I believe.
Oh, Ty had one.
That restaurant has been eviscerated. I have seen.
That's because COVID, obviously. Let's go to the 5-hour energy front lines. Guy Fieri done today. Boys, I don't know how many people we can just saw down every single day. You hear me?
What do you mean?
I mean, maybe we pick and choose a little bit more.
Back off, guys.
You insulted him a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You went after him a little bit?
To make things right, I will get Guy's Kitchen after the show today.
Oh, you're trying the $35 egg rolls?
Yes.
There you go.
I'll join on that.
They're so good.
They are.
I'll eat one of those.
And now that we're talking about it, it kind of is making me think, I forgot it comes with, cheese sauce to dunk it in as well.
Oh, okay. So, and maybe just for a day or two, they'll accidentally slip the apple pie hot dog onto the fucking DoorDash thing.
That'd be huge.
Just know that after you're done eating that stuff, you will leave a Mangino mud pie on the bathroom floor.
You will. That is something that is said about that place.
Thank you, Nick.
Rest you off the take.
Guy Fieri told Rob Manfred, "I'll make you famous."
He did.
That's how he got tied into this thing. I talked to him in Rich Eisen's draft party.
Yeah.
Draftathon thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was zooming in live from his kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a beautiful kitchen in his house.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
He's out there cooking every day. I mean, he's got a beautiful kitchen. I said, we ran into each other at the Kentucky Derby before. He's that's what he said. I don't want to hear about it. I think he just lets his hair down a little bit. You know what I mean? At the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Loose.
And that's why he was a little bit rude to Nick, maybe. And that's why Nick feels the way. It's just Kentucky Derby, Nick.
Wasn't just me. It was you.
Yeah.
It was T. He came after T, too.
Oh, yeah. I'll make you famous. He did say that to me with a straight face. Fascinating.
Well, look at how your career has gone from that moment. Straight up.
Was he inebriated?
I think it was. I think there was a julep maybe or two.
Ooh.
Maybe a mint julep or two.
As one does at the Derby.
But he was very nice to us at that party. I mean, he did say a couple things that were maybe a little bit condescending to the entire group.
Sure.
But it was Kentucky Derby.
In his defense, everyone but you there did deserve what he said.
And me as well, by the way.
I don't think so.
And just in his defense, like, if we were having a party and a young guy Fieri showed up, maybe Nick takes out his phone, turns it on and says, "Hey, I'll make you famous." We don't know how we would act in that situation. Nick would be the first one going gangster, doing the whole thing, wouldn't he?
That's something to think
probably.
about. Yeah, he would.
Yeah, if the incredibly well-designed Italian shoe was on the other foot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would happen?
Ugats. I ain't doing none of that.
Well, we're probably not going to be having parties at that age, if I had to guess.
No, definitely not.
Was this the same party that Fogel was at?
Oh, jeez.
Different party.
No, completely different.
Fogel was in Indy. Guy was in Louisville.
Oh, Guy's Kitchen's closed.
Where, in Louisville?
No, just to order food. So we can't order that after. So.
Oh, that's because all the manpower and woman power is going out to Iowa.
Yeah, probably.
We're making all these apple pies. Let's go to the 5-hour energy phone line. Let's go to Andrew in Tampa. What's going on down there in Tampa Bay, Andrew?
What's going on, boys? Hope you guys are doing better than me on this Tuesday.
Well, what's that all about? You're having a bad Tuesday? Let's make it better, huh? Let's make it a little bit better.
Fuck down here, man.
It is very thick. I lost 5-6
And I work outside, so
What do? You're a roofer?
Nah, I do like energy inspection, just some, boring shit. You don't want to hear about that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were a roofer in Tampa, that would be worth a conversation.
I probably would have jumped off the roof a long time ago, not going to lie to you.
Well,
sir, are you inspecting that giant pool of poison that they have sitting down there somewhere that's leaking into the whole state?
Whoa.
I don't know nothing about that, AJ, but all I do know is
fertilizer,
the
big old
alligators
thing
get
that
into
was
that.
out of control.
What do you go to worldsworstnews.com every morning?
A couple months ago, you guys know about it.
We talked.
Yeah.
Did we?
Oh, yeah, because remember,
it was a real threat.
The power was out almost at Davis Island there because of everything that was dumping into the bay.
Oh, that's right.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Andrew, happy to hear you survived that. That was months ago. Is it still happening, AJ?
I mean, I don't know if they could completely shut it off. I'm sure they got it slowed down.
Let's hope those sea turtles aren't swimming around that poison in that bay. Yeah. Who is it, BP
The
again?
alligators don't get in it.
Is it BP again?
No.
You sure?
I don't know.
Oh, you know a lot about it until you need to know logistics about it? What's going
It was weird. It was like you learned that it was some weird like reservoir, big old hole they dug that was just holding fertilizer for the last 30 years and they never knew what to do with it. And then, of course, the wall broke and it starts leaking everywhere.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 215 million gallons of polluted water.
Of just cow shit? That's what fertilizer is, right?
It doesn't say what it was. It's basically, fertilizer. Yeah.
Chemicals.
Yeah. HRK.
Oh, no. They're just doing boat parades and everything down there. Now they have to ruin it.
Yeah. Gronk was drinking the water.
No more boat parades.
What's the deal, Andrew? How come every good thing has to get ruined by something, Andrew?
That's the world, man. I don't know.
What do you want to talk about, man?
Something else that's going to get ruined is I think the Houston Texans are going to make history this year, being the first 0-17 team.
Wow. Why do you think that, Andrew?
They lose Deshaun. I mean, they got Tyrod in the backup. He hasn't played since he got a hole through his lung. Who knows if that's fixed?
True.
They lost JJ. They lost Randall Cobb. I mean, I just don't see how it works out.
All right, great point there, Andrew. I appreciate you in Tampa holding a grudge against the Texans. There's 31 other organizations you could attack. You attack Houston because there is a lot to aim at there. Nick Caserio, though, has been doing interviews and more information has been coming out. A lot of people believe that Deshaun Watson is not going to be traded from the Houston Texans. That's why they haven't been as communicative with other teams, allegedly, because they're hoping that they can make it right. Now, this is all dependent upon what's going on outside of football that is much more serious than football for Deshaun Watson. 20-plus allegations that are huge and massive, and we hope justice is served. But from a football standpoint, allegedly he wanted out. He definitely wanted out, still wants out. Houston Texans didn't want him. They moved on. Coach Dave hates it. He's being forced to show up at camp when this awkward situation's happening outside. He will not travel for the first preseason game, but now reports are saying just one day after being reported that he will never play another down for the Texans. Now it's being reported that the Houston Texans actually want to make it right. Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports says the Texans have not given up on him being their quarterback this year. They're not taking low ball offers. This is why they aren't being overly communicative with teams. Barring a strong offer, Texans brass will try to get him back into the fold before the season begins, which once again, we do not know how that'll be happening with everything happening legally outside of the field. But conflicting reports here on whether or not they want to keep him, want to trade him, what teams want him, what teams don't. The Deshaun Watson situation continues to be messy, and if he's not their quarterback this year, which all signs are pointing to he will not be, that team is probably potentially really fucked.
Yeah, I would say Coach Dave has a lot of he's got an uphill battle ahead of him in his first head coaching gig. But with Deshaun, like the Texans and other teams, and they're talking about now Deshaun's showing up to practice. They're having him there. I know he's not going to the first preseason game. They have to have some kind of information that makes him somewhat confident, right? That that he may not get suspended the whole year, that things are starting to clear up, I guess, behind the scenes.
The only thing we heard is that Lisa Friel of the NFL did an investigation that is currently still ongoing. She interviewed, I assume, Deshaun. She allegedly interviewed a few of the accusers, and that led to the investigation continuing and nothing else really happening. So I don't know if teams got a message from the NFL like, we investigated, this is where we stand, or if they didn't and they saw that and are wondering the same thing. But it is so big off the field. I have no idea how any of this conversation actually happened.
Well, and hypothetically, if that gets settled, it's not like Deshaun's come out and said, hey, I still want to play for Houston. He actually said the opposite. He said, hey, I do not want to play for the Texans. Took the jersey off at the first practice. So I don't understand. Would they force him to play, or would he retire? Like, how would that even work?
I'm not sure. His jersey not being on, I think that was for warm-ups. They have him wearing a jersey at practice now in the entire thing. But that was a narrative that was going on that first day because he was away and he didn't have his jersey on during quarterback center exchange, and he still wants out. But what teams want him and can they move him? That is an awkward situation that I have no idea how it ends. But if you're to look at a team to potentially go 0-17, I guess the Houston Texans have the recipe for it, and who knows what's going to happen behind closed doors. Tyrod Taylor's a great player. He's won a lot of games. I just don't know if they're exactly the only team that could potentially go 0-17.
I thought I read something somewhere, to your point about the report from Lisa Friel.
Yeah.
That even if a team wasn't interested in trading for Deshaun, they could tell the NFL that they are, and the NFL then has to give them that report so that team has all the information on the investigation.
And you would assume, especially with how Rap Sheet has been reporting this as teams are still interested, that numerous teams have done that.
Why wouldn't every team do that?
Well, that's what I think is Diggs was alluding to. Like, everybody in the NFL could potentially reach out to the NFL and say, yeah, maybe we're interested. Could you send us all the information you have on this?
Got to kick the tires, no stone left unturned.
I saw people tweeting that the Colts should try to trade for him. It's like, I'm sure Jack Easterby and McNair will pull the trigger on the interdivision trade. Especially in this.
Easterby's been quiet, hasn't he?
No, he had a touchdown toe tap and catch. Just like he dressage horsed, over the one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. He did the same little toe tap touchdown for the Houston Texans in there. He looks like he's in good shape too, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Ripped up.
Him and Cal have been praising the Lord, talking to Jesus, getting in shape, and turning around the Texans. That's what we're doing every
Who threw the ball?
I'm not sure. It was just a still photo.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ. I think Tebow threw it from Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah. How's he doing? He's got a touchdown, I know, early in camp.
He's great. It's Tim Tebow.
Yeah, he looks unbelievable.
Okay.
Good. Firing off low on blocks, too.
Urban Meyer said that that Trevor Lawrence isn't necessarily a starter here. This comes 1 week after Gardner Minshew said that he hadn't even taken a shit because number 2 isn't an option for him for some time. And we did ask an insider on whether or not that was true or not, because Gardner Minshew controlling his shit for a matter of weeks not to poop because he didn't want to do a number 2 because he doesn't want to be number 2 is a story that should be covered a little bit more just in the history of humans being able to do something, because naturally I think you shit. Gardner said, nah, I didn't do it because that's not what I'm about, while rocking an incredible mullet and great outfit. Jaguars coach Urban Meyer hasn't officially named number 1 pick Trevor Lawrence starting QB. We haven't made that decision as he unveils his bigger picture for Judy Batista. That report comes from Ian Rappaport. Number 1 pick overall. Okay. That guy's going to start for your team. Bingo.
I'd say. And Gardner Minshew is the second person behind Kim Jong-un that doesn't take dumps.
Excuse me?
What?
Oh, you know that Kim Jong-un, like that's one of the things that they have about his, he shot at 18 holes, like he doesn't dump.
I know he shot an 18 on his golf course, which is a course record and will be tough to beat.
Very.
Okay, he shot an 18 on 18 holes.
I think they say he doesn't have a butthole.
Yeah, I've
for
heard
real
that as well.
It's sewn up.
Because he has nothing to waste?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing bad in him?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Maybe that's the health issue. If he did sew up his butthole, maybe that is why he's starting to lose.
Doesn't he love like Swiss cheeses though?
Well, and
if he's
boozes.
if he's just pounding wine and eating cheese, he's pooping.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. They're saying he doesn't poop. The North Korean state-run media, I don't think has ever told us a lie. So I don't know why we would not believe this type of thing.
True.
You know what I mean? He rides horses. He puts together the military parade.
What?
All of those definitely work too. I mean,
100%.
The boats he gets on, the karate they do in his backyard, all of that is something that is 100% truthful and powerful. So I don't know why they would lie about him not pooping, but Gardner Minshew, Mike Glennon, Skycam, was the starter last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over Gardner?
Yeah, they benched Gardner after he won a game.
But now Gardner's coming back, say, hey, my rookie year wasn't a fugazi. I'm all the way back. If you want Trevor Lawrence to maybe watch how it's done for a few games, maybe even in a season, I can do that. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, to a T, essentially.
And Urban comes out 1 week later and goes, maybe Gardner Minshew's right. Maybe he is a starter. I love what Urban's doing, just shaking it up. Don't let Trevor get too fucking comfortable this game.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
He's been number 1 pick in the NFL since he was in 7th grade. This guy, maybe too much. He's not our starter yet. We'll see if we can get him there, though.
Get a little grip for him.
What if Tim Tebow starting a quarterback? Have we thought about that?
One can only hope.
Yeah. What if they start the season like in Wildcat and Timmy's back there taking a snap?
And what if Tim, by the way, just scores 400 touchdowns? Is there a chance that that's going to happen?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there is. There's definitely a chance.
Well, Zito tells me that there's a disparaging video circulating the internet that we can watch right now. Tim Tebow.
Yes.
Oh, that's for punt. That's
Special
punting.
teams,
Yeah, it just got shed. Yeah, he was supposed to be on punt, hold up there. Classic.
I mean, that's not that bad. Like, honestly, though, Tim's never played. He's not rushing past. Like, that's easy for that to happen to him.
I agree. And also, he got on the inside there.
Go outside.
Yeah, he needs to go to the outside, even though that is a hold. He was taught that that's how you block. But you need to, in this particular drill, punt,
you have to hold.
You have to go outside. Yeah, you have to.
He's using proper like blocking form, hands inside. But when you're doing that, you don't want to. You need to grab shoulder pads and hold and just let go before they call holding on.
Yeah, and you can't block from behind. Okay, no block from behind. And once the person starts to spin, you got to let them go. But the art of the hold is the punt return. I mean, this is a hold up. Yes, this is a hold up drill right there. He's doing tight end blocking as opposed to punt return blocking, which is, hey, I need to grab, and then as soon as they try to fight to get off, then you let them go. Because the only time it's going to get called is when there's a big, over-exaggerated, and you're still grabbing onto the person or whatever.
That's like Tim's like he is honest to his detriment, like to a fault, because he doesn't want to hold. He's like, I can't hold, I can't cheat.
Yeah, instead the guy just kind of he did. And Urban Meyer just pointed and said, "That's fucking win that way." You see him in the back there, right on the right side. Ed, fucking I wonder if they got the announcer
face too.
Who, Urban?
Just right in Tim's face. Hey.
Tebow loses again over the loudspeaker. Is that what you're saying?
No, not again. Just in this particular rep. He's learning all these things. This goes back to my Richard Sherman getting smoked in that first day of training camp. Training camp and practice is where you're supposed to learn and test and try things. You get exposed out there, though, especially nowadays with the amount of cameras and content that is out there. You can get eviscerated just for one mistake.
Yeah. For a guy like him, though, like usually like those bubble guys, they need to make it through special teams. Do you think that is the same? Like,
yeah.
Yes.
But like looking at that, like they just like does he have any shot of making it on the
this
special
is
teams?
one rep first week of training camp.
Well,
can we give Tim Tebow a little bit of time to Jesus Christ, can we give him some time to learn what he's trying to do? He's making a position change.
I mean, is that realistic though?
I don't know. It's gonna be tough to learn.
Kind of multiple position changes. So like he's gonna have to play special teams for the first time.
Hands like that.
Hey, you don't have to play tight, or you don't have to play special teams if you're TE1. You know how you become TE1? Out route 4-2, one-handed snag, staying back. Tim Tebow's all the way back. Don't you worry about special teams, old Timmy Tebow.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Has he got a brace on his left wrist? What's wrong with his left wrist?
It's one of those like pads. You know what I mean? So you don't hurt your forearms and get it all bruised up when you're playing football.
Is that one of those
Are you
ones
sure?
that has like the hand that looks a little thick?
It's a wrist. It was like a wrist brace.
It does. It looks like a wrist brace. What's up with his left hand?
Oh no.
He's blocking people now. He's probably got got to protect those wrists.
Pause that.
What a crisp route.
You can see it better in the other video.
Yeah, what's up with his hand? Is that just his tape?
Snag.
Put that on a fucking poster.
Yo, make a shirt, make some merch, sell 1 million of those in Jacksonville, Duval County. What a snag. I just don't think Tim Tebow's got to bet against.
No, of course not.
Now, once again, just like the special teams drill, this is just one rep. So let's not overreact here.
On air, too. But
It doesn't matter if there's any defense.
yeah. No, it's a great catch. I agree. Great catch. And Tim is left-handed, and he pulled it in with his right, so that's even more impressive.
Well, baseball.
So?
He couldn't catch in baseball. So this is actually...
Oh, come on.
What's your deal, dude?
He's a professional baseball player for like 5 years, Diggs.
We've all seen him track a fly ball. Tony's got a massive point here.
You guys just saw 1 rep, 2 reps, and now you just act like that is his entire amateur career.
I thought we were on to football. I was talking about baseball. Great catching football.
Yeah, but what I was saying is the reason why, like for instance, left hand for me, much easier to snag one-handed. I think it's because naturally, if you were to catch it, it is your glove hand, right? Yeah. That's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
It does look like a bracelet. I have another video here.
A brace, yeah. What's up? What's going on with his wrist? Is he all right? Oh, it's because he's going to fucking break the pain. Oh, yeah, that's the
basic Walgreens wrist brace everyone wears.
Copper fit?
No, they're like, you strap it and it locks you in a little bit so you can't go back too far.
Actually, he's just being a really nice guy. He doesn't want to make the trainers tape his wrist every single day.
Yeah. Did you wear those, AJ?
No, I mean, I wore a cast on my right arm for like my last 5 years because I had my wrist rebuilt, but I never wore the actual brace, those ones that they have. But a lot of people do. Like Luke Kuechly used to wear 2 of them. He wore on both wrists, if you remember him.
And that's because he's just firing, and that saves your wrist.
Yeah, because it's all hands and strike and shed and all that. So it definitely is needed. I mean, I taped my wrists. I didn't have them too tight.
As a ball catcher, though, is that normal?
I mean, I've seen tight ends wear them a good amount. Yeah, I think it's somewhat normal. Not many receivers do, unless they probably have a decent injury.
I don't know. I think that freaked me out if my hands weren't able to.
Don't have full range of motion.
Yeah, because I'm big.
Well, what if when you do, your hand goes back like that to make that catch? It's super painful because of whatever happened in camp.
Well, that's the universe telling me stop catching fucking balls. This wrist can't take it anymore, dude. Stop catching balls.
Yep, just hang it up, man. Your wrist hurts a little bit. Just hang it up.
Might as well.
Don't fight through it,
Might hurt yourself worse.
This is the NFL. Don't fight through it. Do we have a golf ball still?
Yeah, right here.
Hey, I was going to try to make it through the entire break. Nice toss.
Here we go.
Great toss.
Here we go.
I was going to try to make it through an entire 6-minute break at the end of an hour, with no sound on it. And I think I got 45 seconds in. So I fell at least 1/7 short of my ultimate goal, but we can still get better today.
Yeah, still pretty
You're
impressive.
close. What kind of shoes are those?
These are bronze.
Yeah, they are very nice.
Are they really?
Yeah, he made these before he made Space Jam.
Can you zoom in?
Go ahead. I kicked somebody in the mouth with these. I think this is what Adam Cole got kicked in the mouth with.
Oh, I hadn't seen this. I didn't know he had like the low mid style.
Yeah.
Those
I
shoelaces
like
are
those.
crazy.
They're not the most comfortable bronze.
They're way better than his high top ones.
These are a gift from Nick, I think,
They look
right? Nick,
sweet.
thank you for these, Nick, by the way.
Thank
Shout
you,
out
Nick.
But, yeah, I mean, these were deep in the closet. I wore a gray shirt. I never wear gray, so it just felt like, hey,
With the blue.
yeah, this is a time to do it. Yeah, it was perfect accessorizing, which,
I see you switched out of those other tank tops with the different bottom.
well, I ran out of them, obviously. I bought
washed.
50 of them. Now they're going to get washed. Be prepared for round 2 with those things coming in very soon. You know,
Till October.
it's like Steve Jobs, you know, he just bought 100 turtlenecks.
Yeah, easy.
Tuck them in, got nothing to worry about in the morning. That's what I did with the tank tops. I was like, I'll just wear these for the next, 100 days.
Yeah.
Turns out you only buy 50 of them. Guess what? Shit out of luck the next 50 days.
I mean, after you wear 20 of them, you can wash those 20, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to make it a burden, to clean my shit. I can just buy, like I told Joe Buck, I would travel around. I would not pack anything. I would go to the local Target. I'd get shorts and a tank top from Massimo and have a weekend. And then I'd leave it there, go back home, go to another city, stop by Massimo's house, Target, buy a tank top or 4, leave it there, go home, put that on repeat for like 5-6 months. I'm not the best dresser, but I have my own little fashion, I don't like that on Friday nights I got to wear a fucking sport coat every time.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I'm running out of those, AJ. I'm running out of those.
Well, I think you put your own little twist on it. It's not the old just normal sport coat and button up underneath.
I had shorts last week. I mean, that was an aggressive decision. That's my first time doing that with WWE, especially since the whole WrestleMania thing happened where, Michael Cole yelled at me in front of Dom Batista.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't love that.
Jack Dodge, though.
God.
Oh, fuck.
Damn it!
Why does it happen, AJ?
I mean, I think you made it a lot longer than you should have, probably.
It is back.
I almost pulled
in
my
the
hammy last
same
time.
exact spot it was in last time. All right, that's a show, I think. Hi, AJ. One more call, maybe?
Yeah. Go to the 5-Hour Energy hotline.
Phone line.
Hotline is
Come
different.
on.
Let's go to Alicia in Iowa. What's going on, Alicia?
You easy.
Hello?
What's going on? Am I pronouncing the name right there? Alicia?
It's Elijah.
Elijah. Mitt.
What movie is that?
Mitt.
You lock it up, dude.
You lock it up.
No, I'm a coxman.
Spell it A.
Yeah, Elijah, what's going on, dude?
Oh, not much.
The other guys?
What do you want to talk about, dude?
Well, I saw a video on YouTube of you, and it was Cortland Finnegan pushed you off one of his guys.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if at that moment you were thinking about just popping him in the jaw, or
Well,
how do you think that would have gone?
yeah, thank you, Elijah. I appreciate that. It was after a block punt for a touchdown for the Tennessee Titans in my own end zone. I think it was actually when I tore my meniscus for the first time, that exact play. Put somebody at PP that had never played PP before, did not, good guy probably if he would have lasted on our team for a long time, but he was put at PP. He completely called the wrong protection. 4 guys ran right up the gut in a short, thing, and my knee gets bent back basically, and they score a touchdown, and I'm on top of the guy, and Cortland Finnegan rolls me out, and that just so happened to be the same exact game where in warm-ups, Cortland Finnegan told me hey, you better fucking fake it. We're coming to block it. And I was like, excuse me? He was like, you better just tuck it and run. We're going to block that thing. And I was like, you son of a bitch. He was a very nice guy. We got along very well. He got into a fight with Andre Johnson and everything. But he told me they were going to block one, and they did. And then he immediately afterwards had receipts to let me know that.
I told you.
Block punt's not good, by the way. Not good at all. Get hurt.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Wait, so they scored too?
Oh, yeah. I was in my own end zone. Yeah, a little bit short.
It's tough to win games when that happens.
Well, I think we punted 10 times in the first half that game.
Jeez.
Is that good?
Maybe 8 or 9 times in the first half. I mean, that's a lot of punts in one half.
Yeah.
That was 2-14 here.
It's every series is punt there.
Yeah.
A lot of 3-and-outs.
Clyde Christensen was calling plays that year, I think. So our relationship was hysterical. You know what I mean? Like one practice, they got moved. Quarterbacks warm-ups got moved to another field because we had punt team or whatever, you know? So Clyde goes, "You're telling me I got to move to another fucking field?" Or no, he didn't say fucking, but another field because the punter wants to punt on the field. We're trying to win a game here. And I'm like, well, we're punting 10 times a half, Clyde. Why don't you figure it the fuck out? And then it was a pretty good little joust, he and I. But yeah, that was a tough. Cortland Finnegan, I got a lot of respect for it. He told me they were going to block a punt, and I mean, they did, to their credit. Bleacher Report Gridiron has responded.
What'd they say?
They said they changed the post or something like that to save me some fire ringside or whatever. But
Too late.
A little fucking late.
Too fucking late.
yeah, well, the guy that runs that whole account is from Indiana. I didn't know that.
Nice.
Did you know that, Ty?
Yeah, he's from Hamilton County, I think.
I didn't know that. Pretty close little trip. Smack him right in the fucking mouth.
Might as well.
Ooh. He was a pretty good guy. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Shout out to Elijah. I mean, there's no way that's how you spell the name.
No.
No chance.
Appreciate everybody that called into the 5-hour energy phone line.
How was it spelled?
Elisha. I mean, in his eyes, Elisha. That's what.
I mean, I guess you can't fault him.
Yeah, didn't put a dash.
Names are different. Yeah, you never know.
They are difficult. AJ, what do you got today? Anything cool?
Yeah, not a whole lot. You know, kid stuff. But yeah, have been going strong with football practice, tackling. We're full pads yesterday. Tackle to the ground is good.
Heads up football, obviously. Let's go.
Obviously, teaching exactly how they teach us. Yeah.
So you have to get
kids what they do.
You have to get taught how to teach the kids how to tackle from USA Football, Heads Up Football.
Yeah.
That's very nice of you to adapt to the modern football and not just say, hey, I was taught something different, because for the good of the game, you're actually adapting so that the sport can carry on forever, like Peyton Manning was basically saying, giving back to the game. Very nice of you, AJ.
Great. Yeah, I'm just trying to be a great steward to the game of football.
What are you teaching them then? You're, kind of hit and then wrap up and then keep your head up and then fall weight off the person and everything like that?
Yeah, okay. Fall off the person. This is in the NFL. You're allowed to land on them. There's no rules.
Oh, so AJ's telling Axel.
Yeah, we did drive him into the dirt. We did full go like Oklahoma drill, and we're allowed to. Like our head coach, like, all right, here we go. We got 2 D linemen, 2 O linemen, a safety, and then a running back. I was like, okay, this is Oklahoma. We can do this? Like, yeah, of course, yeah. And so we did it, and the kids were juiced. Like, they kept jumping in. They love hitting, man. It's good to see.
Yeah, they're all hitting properly, though, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
You guys wouldn't allow that drill to continue if they weren't hitting with perfect form to jeopardize their future cognitive abilities, right?
That's right.
No, I don't blame you. I don't want any head injuries out there. Our job as coaches is to take care of those kids and make sure they're having fun, right?
Take care of the game, take care of those kids. You're a good coach, Coach Hawk.
I don't know if that's true, but it has been fun.
Thank you, Coach Hawk.
Your kids hit hard or what? You got any guys that are scared out there? Any kids that are scared or what?
Shockingly, as the coaches, we were talking about it, like they were so excited for to actually be tackling to the ground and everything, and we didn't see any guys hiding. Like, they all were jumping up trying to continue to get more reps, actually. Like, all right, we may have something.
So what does that mean? Every day we're going full pads all the way down to the ground?
Hell yeah.
You too.
Well, I mean, when you're young, there's no question. Like, oh, what's practice? What are we wearing today? It's full pads every day. So, yeah.
I had a couple of those weeks with the Pee Wee Plum football team.
Good times.
The what?
Pee Wee.
Is that what it was called?
Uh-oh.
I believe I don't remember their actual name. Tone, do you remember the name of that?
I can't remember.
What were you going to say?
Mustangs. Smaller Mustangs.
Why is the No Fun League trending right now?
There's a tweet right here.
Yeah, they
the No Fun League's trending. Here's the video sent out today stating that game officials have been instructed to strictly enforce taunting rules in game this season. Come the fuck on, dude. How come at one point, okay, there was we need to get rid of all dancing. We need to get rid of all celebrating. You can't be happy when something awesome happens to you, your life, your team, your organization. Can't do any of it. Don't try to separate yourself at all. We would like to be able to plug and place any player in a uniform. Pull the socks all the way up. They better not be off by a half an inch or anything. If you do anything that makes you an individual as opposed to a team, we're going to run you out of town. Don't even think about the hip thrust. Everybody remembers old Key and Peele's thing about the 3. That was because the NFL was acting that way. We don't need any hip thrust. We don't need any happiness. You score, you get the fuck off the field. Now, They're trying to take the fun out of the game again. If there's a little bit of taunting in the competitive world, that's good for the game. That's what we're doing here. That is how this whole thing works. I don't like that the NFL is getting rid of this. I thought we were going forward in a beautiful fashion. Like, hey, the NFL's annual rule change and points of emphasis video notes, game officials have been instructed to strictly enforce taunting rules in 2021. 2 violations results in an automatic ejection with fines and even suspensions in place too, says the Arrow Tom Pelissero. So we know that's coming straight out of the fucking memo. That's what Pelissero. What are we doing?
It's Mickey Mouse.
You can't. So you can't, like Tyreek Hill can't do the piece anymore. You can't wave to people. You
can't have
get up and flex in front of them.
Can't have fun.
You couldn't last year though. You couldn't get up and taunt a guy last year though.
Yeah, but a point of emphasis means that they are going to be.
Clip, though? Can we see that clip? Are they saying, I don't know if we can play it or not, but are they saying that was proper or not?
We can all watch it.
I think they're saying that was not good. And Darius Leonard, by the way, is high energy, celebrate. That's a part of the thing. We've seen Bill Belichick do full breakdowns on these do your jobs and mic'd up things about how deflating it is for other teams whenever you're a team that celebrates or is excited and thankful and everything like that. Bill Belichick is actually on the side of celebrating and being pumped whenever something good happens for you, your teammates, or anybody else. I would have thought Bill Belichick would have been on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, but it's real. That type of energy, enthusiasm, that type of anything brings the game and makes the game better. I don't understand why they're going backwards. I guess if you got guys on the field that are flipping people off,
yeah,
you know, like you got to keep that out because kids can see that, or throwing shockers or anything like that. I can understand it being a problem, but a little taunting, a little shit talking, like that's what hey, come on. You're talking about the most competitive people on earth. Like that's just a part of the game. This is not. This is disgusting.
This is despicable.
This is.
I paid my fine.
This is classic smokescreen.
Yeah, but you would have got suspended if that was the case. Smokescreen or
I
what?
sure hope not. But
some other rule getting changed, you're saying?
Well, think about what they did with review. Riveron's gone. Old man in. We'll change this rule. Forget about that. They'll be pissed off about this.
Oh, you're saying there's a little deception going on, sleight of hand. I am pissed off about this, by the way.
Taunting, though, I'm sure they're saying like you just can't get up and stand over top somebody or taunt. They're saying you can
there's a couple.
celebrate with your teammates is what they say.
It's smaller than that. It's not even just like a full flex on
the video
top
that
of
they sent, like Jarvis Landry gets hit, he gets up, and all he does is kind of spike the ball and like look at the guy, and they said that's 15.
Come on, dude.
Stupid. The point of that's so dumb. The point of emphasis about it because there will be big plays taken away strictly because the guy is very excited. Exactly, right there. Like he caught the biggest catch of his life, and he's juiced, and you're going to penalize. It's going to be tough to watch.
Or how about a safety comes flying in and he's taught you can only hit in one particular part of the body, have to have your head up, have to do this whole thing. The timing has to be at this. You execute that perfectly, dominate a guy, which you have worked your entire life to do so. You just made a big moment. If you stand up and flex, that's like, oh, you're a human. Okay, you're excited. Not everybody does it. Okay, there's different ways people handle that. But I don't think we should be going against and make it illegal to have personality and to have emotion in a game that is filled with emotions. That is stupid. I don't think it makes sense. Automatic ejections and fines for taunting aren't new, but this was an issue that the competition committee chairman Rich McKay said coaches spoke up about in the spring. Exact quote from the video below: illegal use of the helmet remains a point of emphasis for officials. The NFL Players Association, coaches, and competition committee have all made a strong statement regarding respect among everyone on the field. We saw an increase in actions that clearly are not within the spirit and intent of this rule. Shut the fuck up, dude.
This is bullshit.
This blows.
Come on, dude. I never did it after making one of my 21 solo tackles, okay? I never really flexed on anybody, mostly because I was probably concussed or lost in just coming back to it, what's going on, how did this whole thing happen? But, man, there's some guys that have to really get themselves up to play a game. That is how they perform. And if hitting somebody and flexing is a part of it, like, come on, what are we doing? Why?
Hey, I got a question. I got a good one. So let's say Aaron has a third down. He scrambles, gets a first down running, and as he's going like out of bounds, he does the belt. Is that taunting?
I think it might be.
Yeah, and by the way, that has led to an entire marketing campaign from one of their biggest sponsors in the NFL. But you're right. Let's get away from that. Let's get away from emotions. You do something awesome that not a lot of humans on the entire planet can do. Do not be excited. Get back to the huddle. Shut the fuck up. Why are we doing that? This is going backwards. Why are we doing this?
They claim it embarrasses players. They don't want somebody like upstaging an opponent.
Hey, you're going to get got. Okay? That's
Hey,
going to happen.
stop yelling at me like I came up with a rule, man. I didn't come up with a rule.
Well, you're right. I apologize that you just so happen to be on the receiving end of this, but you're going to get got in the NFL. That's going to happen. Antonio Brown got me. Okay? That's something that's going to happen. You're going to get got. You just got to get yours more than you get got, though. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch. If somebody gets theirs and they celebrate, like, if the other person's like, oh, that was rude, it's like, get the fuck out of the league. Like that, there's no way that person's in the NFL.
But don't let it happen again. That's the same thing I mention all the time. Like Baker came back when he was in Oklahoma. He plants the flag at Ohio State. You don't like it? Cool. Don't let him come beat you in your stadium.
Hey, you don't want us dancing. Keep us out of the end zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Truer words have never been spoken than Michael Irvin.
That's right.
And smoke, too. I'm so mad about that.
There are going to be so many penalties on D-backs. Like, these guys do some sort of shit every time they break up a pass. Like, that, I mean, this could get ugly.
Why?
So you probably
it just can't be near. It can't be near the opponent, right?
What's that?
Probably can't even do a first down symbol or sign.
I bet you can't. Not if it's close to whoever made the tackle.
So T.Y. Hilton does a first down drop ball like this.
Definitely can't drop about it.
Can't do it. Just made an insane catch. Helped out his team. Helped out the billions of dollars that are going to the organization. He's an excited guy. He's been in the NFL for a long time. Made a huge play. The entire stadium, by the way, as he's doing that, is going bananas because of it. Don't do it.
Can't have it.
Come on, bro. Is this Walt's first move? This son of a bitch. Fucking Walt Anderson.
Talk to MCDC. They said the coaches talked about it in the spring.
Listen, I didn't say anything about this shit, man. Okay, I want these guys to have fun, all right? We're having a lot of fun, okay? And we're gonna get it right. We'll talk to somebody, but I don't like this, man. They didn't ask me about it.
This feels like it's going backwards, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Sirianni, he's for it, though.
Sirianni said, less thinky, more athlete take over. And I think in the athlete take over-y, that's like celebrating.
Yeah.
That's like kind of letting loose, you know? So now they have to put like governors on guys. Like the Maniac just got 50-some million guaranteed. He flies around and is dancing at all times. It's a massive part of the energy that he actually brings to the team. What are they going to say? If he's dancing after a big play is made, that's a 15-yarder first down, plus you're getting fined and suspended. Like, what are we...
Does it matter the proximity you are to whoever you just tackled? Like, if he walked 4 yards away and he's not next to him, I can't imagine they're going to throw the flag there. I really hope not.
Well, this is just like in the NCAA where you're not allowed to do any end zone celebrations, but as soon as you get to in between the 30s on the sideline, there's an entire thing.
Yeah,
is that what they're trying to do, and why are they trying to do that?
I mean, there's a lot of things you could ask that question for.
When you do it like this, then you're making it a judgment call.
Very true. You're right.
Like these guys can just decide when they want to.
Yeah, is the person on the sideline going to be able to use the Hawkeye smart thing and say, actually, it appeared as if his gyrations were more than 3 feet away from the person. Pick up that flag. Let's go ahead and get them off the field and bring the punt squad out.
That's something we should consider.
Why do we want to take emotion out of the game when that is what the game is all about, basically, as a fan? I just don't, whatever.
You're asking rational questions to irrational rules that are thrown out there at times.
What's Rich McKay? Who's this guy? What is a Rich McKay?
What's a chuckle?
Like Falcons president or something, I want to say.
Well, fucking Kanye just moved out of his goddamn house.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So,
did he finish? You finish the album?
He did not finish the album. He's going elsewhere. Shocker. CEO of the Falcons is Rich.
President and CEO, yeah.
Oh, he doesn't want people to be happy now that he lost Julio and everything.
Interesting.
Jeez Louise, dude. So I'm gonna do a Holly, and then we're gonna get out of here.
All right.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Wait, what?
A Holly.
Wow.
Let's go!
Did it go off?
Yeah.
Fucking
good Holly.
Tony
No,
Hawk.
they weren't off at the same time.
Skateboard, dude.
Oh, it was like speed walking, but for a skateboard. I don't want to get both of them off at the same time. I'm a race walker.
Yeah.
I'm a race skater. One more time.
A Holly?
Yeah, dude, I'll fucking do a McTwist too. You want one? Come and get it,
An
dude.
Ollie? What are you talking about?
Ollie, sorry. Okay? Sorry. Right. Huh?
I wish I skateboarded as a kid because I tried it as an adult. It is very difficult.
It is
So
impossible.
hard.
I can't even stand. I can barely stand up. This is a big deal for me right here, being able to do this. And I think it's because we talked to Jagger Eaton, who now has a mullet and has been doing the entire press tour and crushing it everywhere, by the way. So I think through osmosis, I got a little Olympian skater in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Smooth.
You ever
Looks
see it?
stable.
Huh?
You look very stable.
Yeah, you ever see a fucking crab? Oh boy, I almost just busted his shins. What's up, dude? You got beef? That's what I'm doing. I'm rolling out the Bleacher Report gridiron. What's going on? Oh, that was a Holly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's try one more. Let's see if I can get both trucks up in here. You know what I mean?
You got it.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Did they get?
Let's go.
That's pretty good.
Thank you, AJ. Fucking.
Get this guy a helmet. He's about to hit the ceiling.
Bro, if I hit a Holly like that in the Olympics, guess what I'm celebrating? They don't like it, they can keep the taunting penalty out of the Olympics.
Boom.
Hell yeah.
Just like they have in the NFL. All right, AJ, let's get out of here, huh?
All right, let's get out of here, man. We'll see you Wednesday.
All right, dude. See you then, man. See you Wednesday.
Good luck hollying at home.
What's that, dude?
So good luck hollying on that thing at home.
Thanks. I'm actually dropping in the half pipe this afternoon.
Nice.
Don't need luck.
I'm surprised you don't have one.
Well, I actually just built one, yeah.
Built a half pipe?
Yeah, in the backyard so I can...
I thought you said you were going to drain your pool and fucking get in there with that thing.
Drop in.
I will for the winter, obviously, whenever we got to do it. Right now, it's still pool season.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get out of here, huh? What do we got tomorrow, AJ? Anything cool?
We have Wednesday tomorrow.
Everybody does. Just want to, everybody has that.
Depends on your time zone, probably, but yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Do you have any guests for us tomorrow?
No, because ever since you eviscerated your new bookers, I feel like you've been getting big time guests on here.
Most of them have still been booked by me, so let's not.
Figured that.
I've gotten back into the booking game, but they have stepped it up, I will say.
Sure. They did get Phil
Dahlhauser. They got Dahlhauser today.
What happened to him? What happened?
I don't know.
We don't know.
The bookers have done an incredible job. I think they have. I mean, I stared down a schedule that was just wide open, with a lot of question marks on it.
But every once in a while.
Joe Buck.
Yeah.
Big Buck.
The show is every day.
Shows every day, yeah. That's the thing, it's just every fucking day, which is not fun. But I've gotten back into the booking game. Hey, listen, sometimes you got to put the booking cap back on. And the bookers are trying their best. We're not an easy sell, obviously. People don't want to come on, but we'll continue to get this thing going. And
Hey, Pat.
Yeah?
How did Joe do on Jeopardy? I know you mentioned to him that you watched the show last night.
He did pretty...
Did good?
He did pretty good. Joe Buck.
Good.
He did.
You definitely knew. You definitely knew it was airing this week.
I watched it last night, dude. Of course, I watched the whole thing. I thought he did a great job. You should have seen his open. It was just so poised. You know what I mean?
Just classic Buck.
It's like you've been there before.
Kept it fun.
And I'm learning now that he was just acting the entire time. He fooled me. It looked like he was comfortable doing his thing. I thought there was a chance maybe it was the second or third week doing it, but I guess it's just the first night.
Born natural.
Come on, get them both up. Get them both up, dude.
Yeah.
No. It's gonna be like a Tom Segura situation.
All right. I actually, I did think of that right before that last one there. I was like, I can grab this. But this has wheels as well.
Yeah,
that floor's like ice, too.
Yeah. So it's actually harder to skate here than Jagger Eaton had to skate in Tokyo. And
it is.
We'll see what he could do in here. We'll get him in here one day. Let's get out of here, AJ. See ya.
All right, see ya.
AJ, what are we doing tomorrow?
I don't know. What guests do you have lined up?
You tell me.
Oh, I don't know. I asked you because I'm sure you guys do have guests lined up. Who do you want me to try to get some people?
Tomorrow's big day, I think.
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow,
another Olympic gold medalist.
Big one.
Little tease.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Finger? You did a finger thing?
Oh, that's a tease.
yeah, you
don't
wanna
get
get
too
it.
emotional. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.
What?